So is there anyone who needs to be sworn in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah. Do I need, yes. Mhm.
I think I missed mine last month, so I have to go this month too.
Yes, yes. Okay, so you guys can both do it at the same time. Anyone else that needs to say the oath of office? Okay, and so just repeat after me and I'll try and do 4 words or something like that. I state your name.
I, Natalie Gasada Hannigan,
Alexander Matias,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution,
that I will bear truth, allegiance to, repeat that last part.
oh, I guess that was too many words. Okay, I
Sorry.
will bear true faith
I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the
and allegiance to the
Constitution of the United States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution of the State of California. Oh, wait.
That was more than 4 words, but you guys got it. Okay, and I take this obligation
And I take this obligation
freely without any mental reservation
freely without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose
or what? I'm sorry?
Purpose of evasion.
Or purpose of invasion.
Evasion. I mean, that means you're not going to lie about it. And I will well and faithfully discharge. Oh, that's enough. I will well and faithfully discharge.
And I will well and faithfully discharge
The duties upon which
the duties upon which
I am
duties
about
upon
to
which
enter.
I am about to enter.
So basically, you did it. Thank you. You're sworn in.
Thanks.
you.
Congratulations, you guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm sorry if I was like talking while you guys were doing that.
No, we couldn't.
We couldn't hear
okay.
you.
Oh, good. Okay. Because there was something going on with my audio. I was like, why is this not working?
Can anyone hear me?
You're
I'm
muffled.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, we
So
can
I
hear
hear you. No.
But I'm just gonna.
Your mics are open.
Yeah, my mic's on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
much better.
I'll just do that one after.
Don't start whispering sweet
Hi,
nothing.
Miguel. Good to see you. I got to see you Saturday and today. It's good to see you.
Good to see everybody. I don't see what I did with my agenda in this pile of papers. So it is nice to see everybody. It's not quite time, so I'm going to give you the rules of the day, which I sent to you. You probably all read.
Everyone get the pass sent to them? I know that I saw it on the website, but I was looking through the emails or like the agenda.
It's at the top of the agenda. It's a blue link.
Oh, it's at the registration site too.
Yeah. Wait, what are you? What did you ask?
The
For the
password for Zoom.
Yeah, because when we tried logging on, it was asking for a password, and I had to go back and look on the website.
No, it should have been. The link it sent you when you registered should have brought you right in.
I had a lot of trouble signing in too.
If you're not logged in, if you're not signed into your Zoom account, it'll ask for a password. So I had to go out, sign into my own Zoom account, then go back in, and it took me right there.
Yeah, it is set up so that you have to be a registered user. So we can know who is who. So that when voting comes, we know who to ignore and who to not.
Yeah, I went on my personal Zoom, which is this one, and then it asked me also for a passcode, and then I went back to your link, which I don't know how long you guys were on prior to us getting on, but it was taking a while for it to register. Finally,
Well,
we got
hopefully we
in.
won't have a Zoom outage because that is something.
And Tom, the voting is not the yes, no?
I'm sorry?
The voting apparatus is not on? The yes,
Not
no?
on- It's not on right now.
Okay.
I mean, there's nothing to vote on yet.
I just thought it stayed up. I thought it was, you have to turn it on?
Yeah, I have to release each poll.
Got it.
Tom, did Don Osborne get a hold of you in like the last hour? He wanted login info and I told him to contact you.
No, I don't have anything.
Just send her the agenda.
Okay, I'll do that now. Thank you.
Yeah, and tell them to click and register. Or I also, did no one get an email from the system with their, because once you register, you're registered for this series of meetings. So you shouldn't have to re-register.
Yeah, I never got an email.
No? Okay.
I just got the agenda stuff and I got it from there.
Okay, well,
I got a confirmation when I registered earlier today.
yeah, no, but next time, so I'm gonna send out the confirmation like 3 days prior, so you don't have to re-register because you've registered for this series of meetings, so you don't have to keep re-registering. If I gotta register for Stonewall.
Okay, well, 7 o'clock. When I call the meeting to order. I wanted to review our new protocol that, remember, I think everyone remembers our last meeting went on and on and on. So the e-board met and we discussed some different protocol. So if you go to the bottom of the screen and click on participants, then everybody's name comes up, and at the bottom of participants it says raise hand. So if you want to say something, you click on that raise hand.
Okay.
Everyone sees that?
And wait to be recognized.
Yeah, and and we're gonna all stay on mute unless we're recognized. The vice chairs are going to keep a really good eye on who has their hand raised. So we'll call on people. Two vice chairs, because there's a lot of us. I mean, maybe one half at a time, you'll have to keep track. And if we have a motion on the floor, we are going to make sure there's no hands raised, and then we'll raise our hand if you want to speak in favor of the motion, and the vice chairs will pick 3 people, and so we'll have 3 people that are for the motion, and then afterwards they'll take all that down and say 3 people that would like to speak against the motion, and we'll select those, and then we'll have 6 people addressing the motion, followed by a vote. We think that will go. That's what they do at the state party, and it'll go a little more smoothly. And when we're going through announcements, we're going to limit the discussions and questions to 5 minutes. So hopefully that will make the meeting go smoothly. The last time the meeting, everyone was so tired. I don't think anybody knew what was going on by the end. So that's
Margie, I just wanted to do a reminder for the public comment. We will, once the meeting's called to order, we will take the first 10 hands that are raised for public comment. You get 2 minutes. We are doing 30 minutes of public comment. That's why we're only taking 10 names. because that's about 20 minutes. And by the time you release and all of that, it should be about 30 minutes. And then we go into our regular agenda. The other thing I want to give you a heads up, when we get to the endorsement committee will be submitting the recommendation as a consent calendar. And then the motion from that committee is that we approve their consent calendar. And then you may pull from the consent calendar, and we will be using the same process Margie put forward, 3 for, 3 against, then we vote. Okay. Any questions about some of the procedures tonight? Okay, Margie.
Yeah, so my plan was to turn off the chat, but I see that if you're a guest, you need to use the chat to communicate with us. So I guess we'll let that. So vice chairs, can you watch that too? So
hold on, Margie.
Yeah.
I have a question to Tom.
Yeah.
If you're a guest, or do you have the raise hand function available to you?
Yes, you do.
Oh, well, okay.
So then don't put anything like
no,
that.
then don't. So
Raise your hand.
So Candy and Patrice, you go to the bottom of your screen and you click participants. So that will give you a kind of a different list of list everyone. You'll be on there in alphabetical order. So if you can find that at the bottom of your screen, click that, and that's where the raise hand function is. It's at the bottom of the participant list. So I hope, does everyone see that? Okay, good. So you found it. Good, okay.
Candy. Are we gonna acknowledge Candy now?
No, we're not. She hasn't called the meeting to order.
Okay.
No, I'm
Okay.
going to call the meeting to order, but I do see, and Candy made it to the raise hand.
Can you call the meeting to order, and we'll go to those hands after.
Okay, I was just looking for Candy in the list of participants.
I see her. I can see him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
can see.
So welcome everyone, and I'd like to welcome all of our members and all of our guests. And well, guests, would you raise your hand so we can recognize you? I think I'll have Vice Chair Tiffany, would you read the names of the guests, please?
Certainly. I don't see any. Oh, Candy, welcome. We have Kay Patrice, welcome. And we have John Riley, you guys. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, they can lower their hands.
Yeah. Put your hands down, and we will say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay.
We have a flag.
Yeah, hold on. Oh, I gotta bring it up.
On the table.
Well, it's.
Maybe we'll start, and if you get it, we'll have it for half of the.
Yeah, it seems to be having a problem.
Steve is having trouble signing on.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Someday.
Thank you. And we have a quorum. So can, Mr. Bilbo, can you put the agenda on the screen?
Sure. Okay,
Can you scroll it down so everyone can look at, because we need to approve it.
they were all sent it in the email.
Okay. Maybe no one needs to look at it. Okay, thank you. And then, is there a motion to approve?
This is Tiffany. I motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
The motion has been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All those in favor? We don't have a poll.
Aye.
Yeah, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? The minutes of the agenda has been approved. Well, everyone's been sent the minutes also. So is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Lynette, I move the approval of the minutes as printed.
This is Deborah, second.
The minutes have been approved and seconded. Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, so we're going to move into the public comment. And I guess we have to push participants again. I don't see the,
If you want to, if you have public comment, raise your hand, and Tiffany and Vernil and I will monitor the list. I have Kay Patrice.
Candy
Okay,
and John Riley had their hands up there.
okay, so those are the first three. Are there any others for the public comment?
okay.
Okay, so
Okay, Patrice?
hold on.
Okay, or do you,
We got to time them.
Mhm.
Okay, whenever you start ready. Okay,
hey,
Patrice.
Patrice?
Hi there.
Hi.
Patrice. Good to see all of you guys.
Nice to see you.
I want to talk to you guys about the census. I don't know if you know, but the deadline was October 31st, and your president pushed back that date to September 30th. So this is a critical time. We're only at 30% of Solano County residents are self-registered in the census. We have 30% more to go. That's about 120,000 people. I know that we can close in on 90% or higher, but it's going to take all of us, all of our respective organizations and the Central Committee itself. We are having a Census Week of Action, September 14th, and we're asking organizations and individuals and influencers to all post and contact people about the census. And I'm gonna cut and paste the call to action information. Also, the NAACP Tri-City is having a battle of the census pop-ups. On September 19th, there's 11 locations. 10 of them are in Fairfield. One is in Vacaville. I'll post President Jonathan George's information, and we have locations that we still need manned. And we're gonna do a $150 gift certificate to whatever group brings in the highest numbers that day in census. I'm gonna also put my contact information into the chat, so that way if you have any questions for me, I'm accessible, I'm reachable. So again, good to see you guys.
And you did it under 2 minutes.
Thank you. So,
Candy is next.
Okay, good evening, Council. Thank you for allowing me to speak this evening. I am speaking to you as someone who is a 35-year journeyman in a trade labor union, a community organizer, and someone who has chosen to step back and try to watch the political process very carefully in Vallejo this year. I was more than disturbed by what happened in your YouTube Live broadcast by a couple of your members when questioning potential council member candidate Louis Michael last Saturday. And while I appreciate greatly the apologies that have been placed online, that is wonderful, but I have an issue in how it speaks to us as a group of Democrats when we are trying to accuse the other party of saying one thing and doing another, and we're doing it ourselves. I do not understand how someone reacts that unprofessionally in a public setting and does not receive censorship. And I would like to request that there be further action taken for such a disrespectful act and such a juvenile act. Thank you.
Okay, you two did it under your 2 minutes. It doesn't seem to be anybody else in public comment.
Well, John Riley, didn't he?
His hand is down now unless he wanted to speak.
Okay, yeah, it was
Certainly.
up. Oh,
Certainly. Thank you very much. I just want to make everybody aware we're having our 12th annual Labor Day breakfast, non-breakfast by Zoom. On Labor Day. We have a great lineup of speakers. You know, the food might even be better because you're going to be able to prepare it in your own kitchen, surrounded by family and love. But we're still going to get together and celebrate the hard work and dedication of working families. So you're all welcome. Thank you very much.
John, are you requesting sponsorships?
Yes, we are, as a matter of fact. Thank you very much, Lynette.
The soft one to you.
You know, we're trying to, we try to keep our doors open. We've had to, you know, because of COVID, not have, spring salute. And so we still need to be able to do the good work, and that's going to include working with Democrats this year on the campaign.
Okay, you did it under 2 minutes. That's it.
There's another request for public comment. Susan George, I see that you put your virtual hand up in the comment section.
Thank you so much. Let me, so you can see my face there instead of my button. I just wanted to say how happy I am to be here, and also to mention that I was a proud delegate for Joe Biden at the first virtual DNC convention. We just returned from the virtual convention, but I tell you, having been at the 2016 convention, this one was the first one where I could really hear everyone and really focus on the meetings. I don't know if you all had that experience, but I just want to bask in how incredible that convention was. And thank you for some of the people here that supported myself and also my partner, Matthew Finkelstein, in being there and being able to vote on your behalf. And we've got a lot of work to do, but I think we couldn't be supporting two better candidates. So I just wanted to bring that here and say thank you, and what a wonderful convention it was.
Okay, also under 2 minutes. So that concludes, I believe, public comment, Margie. So we're back on the agenda.
Okay, so next we have reports, and I'll make the executive board report. We met, and of course we came up with the new, the changes to the meeting with the 5 minutes and the 3 people on each side. And we also, let's see, we talked about the endorsement, which we've now had. So, and I think I would like to compliment Karen Sims for chairing that beautifully. Now we have ideas for fundraisers. We haven't really got anything set up except that we have our window sign. So we want to get that up as soon as possible, and everyone can buy a window sign and contribute to the Solano Democratic Party. I'm going to be asking later for an approval of money for the literature that we are going to be dropping We're going to be taking volunteers to do the literature drop. Nobody is going to knock on anyone's door, and we're going to arrange for locations for pickup. So when that comes around, which I hope is very soon, but we were waiting for our endorsements to put everybody's name on the door hanger. So, so we had the letter from the COVID committee, and we discussed sending it, and decided that we decided not to send it for really a lot of the reasons that were discussed at the last meeting. They made some changes, but we didn't really want to get into a back and forth with our county board. So, unless I've forgotten something, that is what we decided. So, and I hope everyone read the other officers' reports. And the treasurer have a report that we will look at.
Sorry, I keep forgetting that I have to plug my my headphones in order to be heard. Let me pull up my report. I'm on my phone, I apologize. But I believe everybody read it. Dues came in, there were 3 more that came in literally today, so I think that puts us all up to date. I'm gonna have to double check again. There were some questions I believe I saw in another email just today about the cost of the invoice, which was like $501. That is right here, 501.98.
Mark, we can barely hear you, so if you could speak up a little bit, and what invoice about what?
There was a question from Mrs. Bauer about the River City Business Services invoice for our bookkeeping, and a differentiation in the treasurer's report between bank fees and Act Blue fees. She kindly pointed out that that was the allocation code and that they were actually, in fact, Act Blue fees. There was another question from last meeting from Dawn, which I am still waiting to hear back about where the dues are meant to go, whether it's the state or federal account. But I should be hearing from Jerry this week, I would imagine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Paula Bauer has her hand up through the chair.
Paula?
So I actually had a couple other questions about the treasurer's report. There is a transfer from the state account that's identified in the federal account, but there's no corresponding transfer from the state account.
The voided, you mean? Or the, was that the Act Blue fees and bookkeeping?
No, that's a transfer from the state account into the federal account, but you don't have a corresponding transfer out of the state account.
Yeah, my understanding is that the bookkeeper pays themselves for services out of both accounts. We've done that in the past. That's how it was on my last report as well.
That was never my experience, but you're still missing my point, Morgan. There's no corresponding transfer from the state account into the federal account.
Let me search for my
That's
report.
why I sent you the email so you could fix that.
Okay, so that sounds like that's something that needs to be dealt with offline. And if you could get back with us and at least bring us up to date on that, Morgan, and clarify with Paula specifically what she's asking for.
Yeah, I labeled it as bookkeeping rather than transfer, but that's what that was for.
Okay, so you could correct it and make it crystal clear to everyone.
No problem.
Okay.
Paula, did you have any other questions? You're on.
It's just hard to know what things cost if they're not itemized.
Okay, all right. Margie, we're back in your hands.
There's,
All right, so ex officio reports. I hope everyone read the report from congressional, state, assembly districts, supervisors, and club reports.
There's a hand up, Bill. Bilbo, did you have a question on the treasury report? Guess he's not there.
It wasn't a question, sorry, but I just wanted to say thank you to Morgan for helping me fix a problem with our billing payment to Nation Builder. We had a problem with that, but he helped me to get that solved. So thank you very much, Morgan. And I can't lower my, wait, I can lower my hand.
Thank you.
And just so to be above board for everyone, sorry, I'm going to just take a small personal privilege. I'm signed in as two things. One, so I can run the meeting, and one is Stonewall Democratic Club, so I can vote. So, because otherwise, as running the meeting, I can't vote. So just so you're aware.
and Paula, did you have another question? Your hand is still up. Thank you.
No, sorry.
Take it down. Okay, bylaws committee. Lynette, do you have a report on the bylaws?
We don't know. We haven't met.
You haven't met. Did we get the bylaws posted on the website?
They have to go to the state first and then come back to be reposted.
Okay, thank you. A club coordination committee, Jeannie or Mona, did you have a report?
The Club Coordination Committee met this past Monday evening, and Thomas Bilbo kindly instructed us on how each of us that are representatives for a club, he instructed us on how to access the Central Committee calendar, and the instruction was recorded so that we can all go back and revisit that to make sure that we all understand the procedure. So many thanks to Thomas for doing that for us. I think it's going to be very helpful to make sure that all of us are able to put in our own information, and I think it will also help us to avoid kind of crossing paths with other clubs and making sure that we can support each other in their activities and events. Thank you.
And I'm going to say that I think I commend them for putting this up on the calendar, and I think we should all check it because a lot of the clubs really have interesting speakers, and they will invite guests to come. I mean, if you're not a member of the club, you can still contact the club president and you can hear the speakers that they're having. So, or listen to the topics that they're addressing. So thank you, Jeannie and Mona and Thomas for helping them. The endorsement committee, Karen Sims.
Right before this meeting, I decided that it would be easier if I actually sent out the process that we use. It sort of started from the beginning and went all the way through it. So if you have had a chance to read that and have any questions, I'll answer it. I will just speak briefly about the fact that we were supposed to have 2 interviews later today because we were accommodating people because of the fire. Pam Bertani called me about 20 minutes ago and said that she would not be able to make it, and so therefore is no longer seeking the endorsement. But we still do have 1 interview that I expect her, Leslie, to come in around 7:45. We did already interview for her particular race. However, there was no endorsement during that time, and that's the reason. The other person in her race was Tilly, and that's the reason why we sent out her questionnaire, so those people could review it again if you didn't remember it before we hear Leslie's interview. So if there's no further questions, I think I covered everything, or I tried to, in the email.
Also, we will not, you have the link in the agenda takes you directly to Helen Tilly's interview.
And Lynette, I have no idea when the consent calendar thing comes up, so let me know and I'll be glad to.
It's right now.
Okay, then I guess I need to get people to vote to approve what we did on Saturday.
I would like to pull this from the consent.
It's a hand up.
Morgan's hand is up.
I would like to pull this from the consent calendar, the Hakeem Brown, the Vallejo mayoral race.
Okay.
Make a motion.
Do we have do we have all the lists, Tom? Could you post? Ooh, that's kind of small. So we have one pull.
Danny Bernardini's hand is up. You're recognized through the chair.
I would also like to pull the endorsement of Steve Young for Benicia Mayor.
Thank you. Can you both put your hands down, please? Thanks.
Okay, so those are the only two races that looks like were pulled. So we're ready to vote, Tom, on everybody else but those two and the pending interview when we get to it. So whatever that one was, that one race that you said we didn't endorse in, that we're still going to interview that person. Which race is that?
Fairfield School District.
Okay.
That one, District 2.
So we're going to also pull.
Can you recognize again?
No, sorry, that was from before. My bad. There you go.
So Margie, you have those three races pulled, and we'll debate those in a second. Okay. So we're ready to vote, Tom.
Yeah, I need to update the poll that I did.
Okay.
So, dun, 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 dun.
Jeanette's hands up, I think.
Yeah, so I just have been marking down attendance, and there are several places where the members here and the alternates here. So does Tom already have that sorted out, or do you need to know who's that?
No, we'll need to know who's that, but we also need to, if your member is here, do not vote. Because Zoom does not have that capability right now to.
Okay, so I think Nancy won't be able to vote because Michelle is here. And Leilani won't be able to vote because Karen is here.
And we'll watch that when the vote goes. Michelle's hands.
Yes, Michelle.
And then.
I don't understand why we're pulling individual races out of the ballots.
Because that means you support the rest of the ballot.
I know, but I don't understand why that's happening. It was all done at the last meeting. Why?
That's how it works, honey. That's how it works. There's a consent calendar, and if you don't like everything on the consent, you pull the individual items. Okay?
That's not an answer for her.
That's not an answer? Okay, so let me.
Has it been moved and seconded?
It doesn't have to be moved and seconded. It's the
Coming from the committee.
Let me explain where we are as your parliamentarian. The report from the committee is that they are saying these are the people that the endorsement committee has recommended based on all their processes, and they're bringing it to the central committee for a vote. We've always done that. When we get to the central committee, any race that you would like to have further discussion on, you pull off of the consent calendar, which was done. Those three races are the three races that will be discussed separately. Now we support everybody else that's on that consent calendar, and that's where we are for the vote. That's how we do it at the state party. That's how you do it in if you have a consent calendar, items that you want to talk about more, you pull from the consent calendar. That's just parliamentary procedure.
Now that's an answer.
Natalie is having trouble reconnecting to the meeting.
Yeah, can you hold on? I'm actually going to need to reconnect as well. For some reason, it has me logged in 2 sessions. I need to log out and then come back in to activate the poll.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Can you make somebody the host then while you leave?
Will that throw you off if you leave?
No, it shouldn't.
We'll see.
There, Tiffany, I've made you the host. Or no. Yes, there. Now I've made you the host.
Okay.
Okay, Morgan, your hand is still up.
Oh, yeah, it was just about Natalie's connectivity issues.
Okay.
She's
Okay, thank you.
Jeanette, your raise hand doesn't work?
Go ahead, Jeanette. I'm sorry. I just see I see a little tiny face on the screen. Go ahead.
You're on mute.
All
If the
right.
rest of the people knew that who wouldn't be able to vote, and I was just going to
Mhm.
finish with that. So Wanda will not be able to vote because Vernil is here. Emily will not be able to vote because Kevin is here. Dorothy will not be able to vote because Jeanette is here. And Matthias, Alex will not be able to vote because Brenda's here. So that's who I think that we have both people here.
Tiffany, if you could make me back the host.
Oh, I was already on it.
Okay, thanks. There we go. Now I can do a poll. What a crazy thing, Jesus.
Hold
Okay,
on, Natalie still can't get back
yeah,
on.
let
She's
me
getting
let me
code.
take care of this because we got Natalie and I believe Steve Quinley. Can I get on? Right. Oh no, Steve is on now. Okay, good deal. So hold on. Gotta love technology. Absolutely love it.
While we're waiting, Monica Brown, your hand is up. You're recognized.
There I am.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh, okay, you're here.
I have a question on procedures. We have 3 pulled from consent, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So if you did not attend Saturday's meeting to vote, and I believe based on my notes, 2 of the 3 are folks that we voted on Saturday. Are you eligible to vote tonight?
Yes, you don't ever abdicate your vote in the general session.
So let me see if I get this right. So if you're not there all day Saturday, you now get to vote today as we discuss it. I'm going to put issues in quotes. So I just want to make sure I understand that.
Yep, you got
it. All right.
That was a committee.
I'm just saying, thank you.
Okay, glad I could clarify.
Well, I'm sure you can, and you did. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And someone asked me to share the vote totals again, so I'm doing that.
We just need the ballot.
Yeah, I'm just
Karen
sharing the vote totals first.
Karen Sims, is your hand up?
Yes, ma'am.
Can she be recognized?
Karen?
Are you ready to vote yet?
I'm
You can be
ready.
Oh,
But
okay.
what was
Go
Karen?
to the chair to see if she has something that.
Yeah,
I can wait until after the vote.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about the 3 races and the information that I just heard.
Okay, all right.
Why are these up?
You should have, this is to ratify the endorsement meeting results with the exception of these 3 races,
Okay.
which is what you asked for.
We just discussed.
Okay, that's fine.
Tom, can you put the poll up again? I don't know where mine disappeared to.
It's up. It's not
Your
down.
other stuff are minimized and it's behind.
My poll disappeared. I'm confused. I have a question. So is this to revote on the races?
This is to ratify the results for all of the other races with the exception of Trustee Fairfield District 2
vote
and
just
Denise
said
Mayer.
ratify the endorsement period. But you're typing and I'm not, so.
Okay, now where do I get my poll back now that I've unmuted myself? Can we do a roll call vote and can this be explained? Because I don't know where my poll went.
Morgan, you're on your phone. You might have, I don't know if you're on your phone or.
Yeah.
So I'm on my phone too, and I had the poll.
Yeah, I had the poll, but I had to back away from it in order to unmute myself. And now I can't get back to it.
So click on more and see if you see the poll down there. It's still up.
I have more. I have disconnect audio, chat, raise hand, meeting settings.
Click on poll. Polls, it will come back up.
I don't have that on my phone. I have meeting settings. It's not
Thomas,
under.
can we void that and just do this
Yeah.
again?
And then to be clear, if I vote yay, that means that we're going to have a separate vote for the mayor's races.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the way I worded it was ratify the meeting results, which is what we were talking about, for all of the other places that we voted, with the exception of these 3 races. Okay, I'm gonna relaunch it, so I'll scrap that and vote
Thank you,
again.
Tom. Appreciate
All
you.
right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Don't click anything else except for what you want to vote on.
Do we all vote on this?
Yes.
Okay,
Delegate.
I'm sorry. I just thought it was just going to be for Morgan.
No.
Okay, very good.
Everyone has to vote again.
Very good.
Yeah.
Has everyone had a chance to vote? I'm gonna leave it up to a minute. If you have not had a chance to vote, please yell out. Hearing no yelling, I'm ending the poll. Okay. So with the exception of those 3 races, we have endorsements for the other races.
Yay.
Okay.
Madam Chair, Karen is going to be the lead, and then we'll go to the 3 for, 3 against for each of the races.
Did our candidate arrive?
And Karen, if you can put your hand down, it'd be much appreciated. Thank you.
Leslie is with us.
Okay. All right, Karen.
Leslie?
Yes.
Hi, welcome. You
I was
see
trying
in
to
front
start
of
my
you even more people today than we had on Saturday. Hi, and you are running for the Fairfield School Board, yes?
Yes.
Okay, I want to go over the process, which is the same process that we used on Saturday. You will have 2 minutes for your presentation. There's 5 minutes for questions. The questions will come up in the chat box and be called on to ask you the questions. And then at the end of that time period, there will be a 1-minute wrap up. I did send a message. Wanda, are you present? Is Wanda?
Yes, I'm here.
Will you do the timing for us?
Okay, let me set it up real quickly. But yes, give me 1 second.
Okay. I hope you and your family are safe now.
Yes, we are. I definitely apologize for Saturday. This is a crazy process, but no electricity and, fire on the hill. It was.
I understand. I'm glad you're okay.
Yes, we are fine.
Okay.
Now good.
Okay, well, I'm ready, Karen, when you're ready.
Wanda, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then Leslie, the floor is yours.
Okay. I will try to keep it brief. I know I'm the unknown in this race. My name is Leslie Unverfirth. I am an ex-science teacher, scientist by training, and I was also a coach and trainer of teachers for many years before becoming a realtor. I got involved because I have young children in Fairfield schools right now, ages 9, 7, and 4. So I am very invested in what's going on with our schools right now, and I was brought into this process because it was thought that the incumbent was not going to run, but she is. And I was already pretty involved after watching board meetings, and I really think I could make a difference, and I'm qualified for the position. So I just figured we'll give it a try. And if nothing else, I am learning a lot. Even just watching 10 minutes of your meeting right here, it's a little bit crazy after 3 Zoom kid classes today also. So I am an open book and I am ready for questions. I'm not sure what else to say. I am a Democrat. I always vote Democrat. I don't even see another option, honestly, but that's where I am. So I will just open it for questions.
Okay, I believe the first question down here is from Tom Bilbo.
Yes. Hi, Leslie. Thank you for coming. So as the leader of the LGBTQ community in Solano County, because I'm the chairman of the board of the Pride Center, plus I'm also the chair of Stonewall Democratic Club, I would like to ask you if you would be willing to back a pride proclamation from the Fairfield Sassoon School District for the citizens and children that go to your school that are LGBTQ.
Yes, can I wear my free mom hugs shirt?
You can definitely wear that too. Also, would you be willing to back a motion to fly the pride flag at your school headquarters?
Sure. I don't feel like that would probably go over very well in the current district leadership, but I'd be willing to.
That is what we have found as well.
Okay.
So, but thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Steve Quinlan also had a question.
Okay, Mr. Quinlan.
Hi. Do you have the support of the Fairfield Teachers Union?
No, they're going with Joan Gott.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions? Okay. Well, hearing none, you have an opportunity for 1 minute to sort of wrap up and
okay,
tell us why we should vote for you.
All right. Well, I'm different. I got into the process thinking, okay, I could actually make a difference instead of just kind of getting very frustrated. What I've already come to realize is that people tend to want change, but not really go for it. So I have the fear that this is going to end up business as usual, but I'm learning, and it could be that next time would be my time, or whoever does actually get this seat. If it's not me, I am not giving up. I just not had time to actually get my name out there. I'm qualified, but not connected is really what's been the crux here. But I appreciate meeting all of you, and I don't think this is the last you'll see of me.
Okay. Thank you very much, Leslie, for coming and filling out the questionnaire and spending the time to come to the interview. We appreciate it.
Thank you for taking your time. And you guys got a lot going on. I really apologize about missing Saturday.
No, it's okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lynette Henley, you have your hand up. Karen Sims has her hand up.
Okay, thank you. So this was the race. There was no endorsement. If you could put the results from that that race up for us, please, because we have to still vote on it.
And then Kathy Courage has her hand up. You're recognized.
I have a question before we go to Kathy.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead and go to Kathy. We're waiting for time to put up that race.
So you mean the poll?
Whatever the results of that vote was Saturday. For the candidates, whatever that, because it was a no endorsement.
Can you see that?
Yes. Okay, so Joan Gott wasn't in that race at all.
Well, she's not a Democrat.
Okay, well, that would take care of it. All right, thank you. I'm ready to vote. So the motion from the committee is no endorsement. So I would support that we take that position of no endorsement for District 2, Fairfield Sassoon school board seat that's open.
I actually, can I voice a objection to that? Because we did not hear from Leslie Umberfirth, and I think the vote might be different now since we were able to hear from her.
Okay.
I mean, it seems only fair that we.
Okay, good point. So let's just run the numbers and vote.
Yes.
Put that poll up and we'll vote. If you do it that way. So it would be Helen, Tilly, Leslie, and no preference.
Yep, I've already got it set up, honey.
Okay,
It is there. Okay, coming up on a minute. If you haven't voted, please vote. Like they say, vote early, vote often. Although with this, you can't.
Mention it right now. Tom, there are some people that aren't supposed to vote that are getting a ballot.
And they should not vote. They should just
Okay, then
not
just
vote.
leave it alone. Don't
Yeah.
mark it no preference, just
Leave it alone.
perfect. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to end the poll. Okay, still no preference, but look, Leslie got 36% as opposed to 13.
Can you post?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, she got 36.4 and 48.5 and 15.
She almost tripled.
Yeah, see, so I mean, you never know. You know preference, people.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? Has everyone had a chance to look at it?
Now we're on the two races, Venetia and Vallejo, Mayoral.
I have a, whoops.
There's a question on the floor from, I think it was Kathy and then Monica Brown. So Kathy and then Monica.
Karen Sims had a question. Her hand was up too.
Oh,
First,
okay.
first, Karen Sims.
Oh, that's right.
Is it okay for me to talk?
You're recognized.
Okay. I want to make sure that this is my understanding, and I'm pretty clear on this. The people that can vote for the interviews were the people who attended the meeting, and it's in our bylaws. So today's vote on those races that are being called out do not change. You cannot vote on a candidate, but can vote on whether you're accepting or not accepting the results and the recommendation from the committee. So you could end up with no preference, because no preference, but you cannot have a re-vote because you were not in attendance at the meeting, and that's bylaws.
And this is your parliamentarian, that's a wrong ruling. When it's pulled from the consent, everything's open again.
Okay, I will tell you that I did talk to the party, and I did talk to a couple of folks about it. And so if we want to move forward, but I will be sending this up the line because that's,
you can send it up.
I got was not, this is not correct.
Okay, and so since they don't know our bylaws.
Oh no, I sent them the bylaws that said that we had to be there to vote.
For the committee meeting. Now we're in, so if you were not at the committee meeting, you could either vote or whatever. You had to be there to get there to vote. Now we're in our general session. Now that we're in the general session, we're going to see what these people want to do. They may have pulled it for a variety of reasons of which we don't know. We have to find out what their motion is. And what their motion is what we'll be voting on today. You always have a right to pull from the consent. And I can't believe the party didn't tell you that.
Oh, no, that we have the right to pull from the consent. I just wanted to make sure that we recognize that we're not voting for the candidates. But
Yeah, we'll be voting on the candidates too tonight. So I'm not sure who you spoke with in the party. Do you know who you spoke with?
I'm gonna have to look up his names. It was in rules, but I can look it up.
Was it Gary Shea? He's the chair of the Rules Committee.
Yeah, unless I look at it, Lynette, I'm not gonna be able to tell
So
you.
what, so let's go, Margie, where are you?
I'm right here.
The first one that was pulled was the Vallejo mayoral race.
Mhm.
Okay, so you need 3 for, 3 against. And then how many candidates were in that race, Karen? 4. And so if you want to speak on any of the 4 candidates.
Make a motion.
Candidates. So we need to find out which candidates they're speaking for or against. And each candidate can have someone speak for or against that candidate.
I mean, it's pulled, but don't we vote whether we want to accept the results or not?
That's why it was
Full
pulled.
committee
No.
vote on.
Open.
I'd like to make a motion that we endorse Hakeem Brown for the Vallejo mayoral's race.
Okay, so you're speaking for Hakeem Brown. Somebody needs to take notes on this of who's speaking where.
I
Tom
second.
Bilbo?
Sorry, no. My hand was up to speak to what Karen was talking about.
Okay. We'll come back to you. Brenda Crawford?
Yeah, my understanding and the reason that I sat through that long meeting was that if I did not sit through the meeting, then I could not vote. It is highly disturbing to find out that I did not have to sit through the meeting and that my vote would be questioned anyway.
Okay.
This is a, let me finish.
You're out of order because you're not speaking for or against the candidate. You're speaking for or against the process, and that's not what's on the floor. That's not what's on the floor.
Listen, Lynette, you can try and silence me all you want, man. This is an undemocratic process.
Michelle,
Let's make a new motion. Yeah, so I'd like to make a motion or whatever.
Are you speaking for or against the candidate?
I am making a counter motion to Morgan's motion.
No, his motion's not on the floor yet. So do you have a candidate that you'd like to make a motion for? Like one of the people in the race.
I'm saying the whole process is wrong, what we're doing.
Okay, so
we hear back from the state.
I think we should vote first on if we really want to nullify the vote from Saturday.
Margie, you're really out of order because I ran this last time. I ran the endorsement process last time. Last time we had candidates that they pulled because they wanted to make a different recommendation than the endorsement committee. They got to do that because some people that were not endorsed on the Saturday endorsement committee ended up getting endorsed at this meeting.
We go straight to that without the body all agreeing? So
Madam
one
Chair.
person can change the.
Absolutely.
Madam Chair.
We're pulling it.
So hold on, can we get a little bit of order because I see several hands up in the chat. People are chiming in on their mics. You're not being recognized by either the chair, vice chair, or northern vice chair. And we got it because too many people talking over each other and we have this recorded and we can't hear you. So we have a question on the floor again from Tom. If it's not regarding the recommendation to speak for or against the Vallejo mayoral race, we already have Morgan that said that he wants to endorse Hakeem. We need to have the protocol that was laid out by the parliamentarian. That's where we're going. Any further discussion, we'll have that after that. But I need people to do that.
Recognize with Monica Brown. Monica?
Monica, you're muted.
Is she on?
Sorry, no, I
Okay,
forgot to
okay.
unmute myself. I had my hand up prior to the pro-con. I have 2 members that need phone numbers so that they can call in. So before we even begin the discussion of
vote, yeah.
pro-con, if I could have that put out by Tom so that they can call in, they're having a hard time Zooming. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica.
Rhonda Smith is recognized.
Actually, before Rhonda, Kathy.
Oh, I forgot about her. I'm sorry. Yes. You're right. Kathy was there. Yes.
I need another number to call in right now in order to do anything, because if a vote comes up and I can't vote because my Zoom is frozen, then I'm losing my right to vote. So can you please give me a telephone number right now before I lose my Zoom?
So Kathy, did you get the email from the system that gave you the link?
Yes.
Okay,
Well, when I clicked,
scroll down, and there are phone numbers.
there weren't any phone numbers when I clicked the link to attach. I don't think.
No, you have to scroll down in the email.
I think I've already tried that.
Did you look? Scroll down in the email, because I don't have a copy of that email. Does someone have a copy of that email? Can
Not
you
in the agenda, in the email.
Kathy?
in the
I'm
email
sorry,
where you registered?
Okay, Kathy, this is Tiffany. I dropped the phone number in the chat.
Oh,
it's
thank
a
you.
669-900-6833. You can call in with that one. If that one doesn't work, I'll go ahead and drop the second number underneath that, okay?
Okay, hold on. Let me get that before I'm frozen out again.
And then thank you, Nancy. You'll probably need the meeting ID number, and I'll put that in there as well, okay? That's the password, the 49 number, and then the meeting ID number. I'm getting ready to give that to you as well. And that's the meeting ID number, okay?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Sorry about that.
Okay.
All right.
Rhonda Smith.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure that individuals on this meeting realize that those of us that did sit through the Saturday meeting, we did not all leave in agreement with regards to those races that have been pulled. So I don't want anybody to just have the impression that the committee was in agreement and we all walked away and feeling good about those endorsements. So I support pulling those as well as Morgan's recommendation.
Thank you.
And
Tom
I'm gonna
Bilbo.
raise my hand, yeah, because she's speaking not for a candidate, but yet you did not interrupt her. So I'm sorry, there's something wrong here. All right, you're not applying the same.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Now it was supposed to be speak about a candidate, but yet she's not speaking about a candidate.
I did speak about a candidate, but I also wanted to clarify.
No, but you also spoke about other stuff too. You started off with the other stuff. Okay.
All right, people.
Thank you. Go ahead, Tom.
Let's stay
Yeah.
professional.
So I'm gonna stay professional, but this is getting a little crazy here. I want to vote that we keep what we had because everyone voted. You didn't like the outcome. That's the disagreement that people had. You didn't like the outcome. I'm sorry about that. If you didn't like the outcome, but that's what voted. Now, all of you were saying that someone got a majority, but they did not get a majority. They got 50%. That is half, not a majority. A majority is more than half. You can spin it however you want, but it's more than half. Okay, and that's what was voted on.
That's on the agenda that we're gonna. Oh, sorry, I wasn't.
That's what that's what is in the bylaws, a majority. Okay. And the definition of a majority is more than half, according to Webster's dictionary.
Yeah. Thank you, Tom. We have Brenda. I'm sorry,
Brenda
your hand
Crawford
is
and Jada.
Jana.
Jana.
I support keeping the vote as it was on Saturday. And, you know, I apologize to the group for getting upset, but it is not right to be silenced by leadership when you are trying to make a point. Thank you.
Thank you. Jana?
So the way I understand it is the endorsement committee is a committee of the board, and therefore the board still has an opportunity to vote. So I agree with Lynette 110%.
Danny?
Thank you.
Espinosa?
Yeah, so two comments. One, first, just want to address that Tom said everyone voted. I didn't get to vote, and that was because, yes, it was because my families were evacuating because I've been working 50-hour work weeks and struggling with mental health, and because I had to, we lost 3 family members this week. That's why I wasn't at the meeting. So I want to just acknowledge that not everyone voted, and that I support having that vote. Now, I acknowledge that yeah, it was a long meeting and there was a lot for people to sit through, but there was a lot going on this last weekend, and I think that should be acknowledged.
Thank you. We have Corey Penrose, and then I saw
Don.
Don.
I would like to move that we close debate on all items before the House and call for an immediate vote.
What house?
Okay.
Seconded.
All right.
Margie?
So are we, I'm not actually sure what we're voting on. Are we voting a revote on the mayor? Or are we voting?
Archie, we're on voting to close debate.
At this moment, the closing debate.
Okay,
Yes.
there's a movement seconded that we close debate. All in favor, say aye. All right.
Aye.
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 Nay.
Nay. Nay.
I have a poll.
Nay.
Oh, man.
Aye. If
Do
you
the
would like
poll,
the
Tom.
poll, because then it would be,
Oh, let's have a poll.
Yeah, let's have the poll so it can be documented.
Yeah.
And again, only people who can vote, right?
That's right.
'Cause we're all getting these things, so I hope somebody's counting all the ballots.
Tom's the only one who can see it, so.
It's my understanding that Tom gets a record of all the ballots that are cast and who cast them.
okay, has everyone voted? Okay, and then, so discussion is ended.
Okay, so we have one person that's speaking. We have 4 candidates that are up for mayor, I think. Is that correct, Karen?
Yes.
Okay, can you put the 4 candidates, not their whatever they got, but the 4 candidates up, Tom? Is that
Yep,
possible?
give me just a moment.
Sure, thank you. And are all these hands still up for to talk or what?
Yeah, Don and Michelle's hands were up. I wasn't sure about the others. I didn't. Brenda, did you want to speak?
Well,
Danny?
the debate is closed, so all hands should go down
Yeah.
until after
The vote.
Okay.
He puts up the people, and then we can get the four the people that are running. Okay, so we have four. It looks like Hakeem, J.B. Kinney, Robert McConnell, M. Avanella, Hanley Mills, and no preference. So you get 1 minute, and hopefully somebody will speak for these other people to convince us of who you want, if you're for, and then if you would like to speak against. So we have Tom Bilbo, is this for or against or for another candidate or no preference?
I'm sorry, what?
What?
Hand is up.
Oh, no, that's wrong. I'm having to work two different machines here.
Okay. Jana Medina, do you have a for or against or no preference that you'd like to do?
So we're voting for the candidate, is that
No,
correct?
we're not. We're just having discussion right now. So do you want to speak for one of the candidates or for no preference? But you can talk. You get a minute.
But the
Okay.
poll has been launched, Lynette.
Yeah, the poll is in front of me. That's why I was curious why.
No, he just put them up so you could see who's running.
Got it.
No, dear, that's the poll. That's the vote.
No, you have to have discussion first, Tom. That's what we are doing right now, is the discussion. That's all. That's why you get that's where we are.
All
So
right.
if you want to speak, you need to put your hand up, and we're going to go to Janet.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize my hand was up, so I apologize.
Is your hand okay? And Morgan gets to go first because he pulled it wherever he is. I don't even see his hand up here. And hold on, or Rhonda, do you have your clock still available to do 1 minute?
Hi, Lynette. Yes, I can. It's Wanda. I can, let me turn it on.
Everybody
so you
gets
can do it.
1
1 minute.
Yeah, for, against, or for a candidate, or for whatever. I think the last one's no preference. I think it is, Tom. Is that what it says?
Yes, so there's four candidates: Hakeem Brown, John B. Kinney, Robert McConnell, Avonlea Hanley Mills, and then no preference.
Okay.
And you vote for one.
We're going to go to Morgan because he pulled this race. You get 1 minute, and Wanda is timing you.
Hi there. My name is Morgan Hannigan, and I support Hakeem Brown for mayor because as long as I've known Hakeem, he's always put the community of Vallejo first. He goes above and beyond the call every opportunity, and I haven't seen any change like I've seen in the last 2 years now that Hakeem has been on the council, and I believe that he is the best person to lead the city forward. I would encourage everybody to vote in favor of Hakeem Brown for Vallejo mayor here and on November 3rd. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go to Nancy.
Thank you. I'm actually very confused by this process. I don't recall anyone in this meeting. Actually,
excuse me, Nancy.
I don't
am I
remember
timing
anyone.
her?
I'm sorry,
Okay.
but I don't remember anyone offering a motion that we vote on the candidates. I heard a motion that we vote on one candidate. So who offered the motion that we redo the votes? Where did that come from? Because I don't hear that that was on the floor. And I also think that there needs to be some explanation about how no preference is going to be handled by the voting people. I believe the motion on the floor was to give the to give the vote to one particular candidate, not to redo the vote. Can someone clarify that?
Yes, he put his motion to endorse Hakeem was not in order, but he said that he wanted to pull. What we were doing is pulling off of the consent calendar, and that's where we are. So no candidate has a motion to endorse right now. All four candidates and no preferences are available for you to vote for once we get to the
Right,
vote.
but wouldn't that have to be offered as a motion? Couldn't other motions be offered? I don't know
That
where
is
that motion
time.
came from.
Okay.
That is
So
time.
no motion. The motion before you is to pull the mayoral race for Vallejo. That's the motion before you. And now we're speaking for or against candidates that are in that race or for no preference.
I don't think, I don't
Okay,
think you're
the
getting my
time has
point.
passed for the 1 minute.
Okay, so now we're going to Michelle.
So I agree with Nancy. I think this is procedurally out of order. And I think since we haven't noticed that this is an endorsement vote, that it's not a legal vote. A lot of people are on vacation, you know, they didn't know these votes were going to be taken again. So I don't think this would count, even if we did vote. I object.
Yeah.
Corey Penrose.
Hi, I would like to speak in favor of endorsing Hakeem Brown. I have met a lot of elected officials over the course of my professional life and my personal life, and there are few I've ever met who are as skilled, who are as talented, and who are as amazingly empathetic as Hakeem Brown. I would like to urge this body to vote in favor of endorsing him when the vote comes up. Thank you.
Okay, and then Karen, your hand is still up.
No, ma'am, you
Okay.
asked for people to speak for or against something.
Okay, thank you. So I think
I'm going to interrupt because I
here
don't
to-
think we.
so
I
everybody
don't think
so
this is
far
clear,
except
Lynette.
for
I think people are confused
about no
because.
preference.
Wait, we got too many people talking.
Oh, okay, I think
Well, I
time
would like
people
I'm
to
gonna
because
move
they're all
everyone
talking.
except for the chair to bring back order.
I would like to bring
Please.
back order. What we voted on is to accept to accept the recommendations on Saturday. That was the vote, and we pulled 3 things from that. And we need to vote on those 3 things separately. Do we accept or do we not accept? If we do not accept, then I think we can proceed to this other vote. But right now, we haven't really we haven't accepted that we need this revote. So I think we have to go back a step and get back to the recommendation from the committee.
No.
Accept. And well, I just looked it up in Robert's rules. So that was the thing we were voting on. A consent calendar is so that you don't have to vote on everything separately. But we need to vote. So we voted on all the races together, and now we'll vote on this race.
that's exactly what we're getting ready to do. We're getting ready to vote on the 4 candidates from that race.
I think we vote yes or no accepting the recommendations. If we get a do not accept, then we can re-vote on the candidates.
So are you requiring me to make, oh, I'm sorry.
I think
So
we
hold
have
on,
to,
Morgan.
we just have to follow the
I'm
rules.
going
And
to
that was
challenge
not the
the chair.
motion. The motion
I
was,
am challenging the chair.
okay.
Chair, finish your statement.
I think we have to vote on the motion that was on the floor, for the recommendations from the committee.
To
We have
accept
to
this
vote.
one
And I
race.
understand that we're voting on these separately. We're not voting on everything all together, but we still have to vote on the recommendation before we move to another thing. So the recommendation was accept the results. And we can vote, we don't accept the results, and then we can vote for mayor, but I think we have to vote whether to accept the results first. And I think that's what's causing this confusion.
I challenge the chair.
So what, do
You're
you want
right.
to fight it out?
Well, you know what? I'm the chair, so we're going to vote on that.
No, when you challenge the chair, we have to see if we believe that your ruling is correct.
Okay,
or
we can vote on that.
So if you believe the chair is correct, you will vote yes. If you believe the chair is wrong, you vote no.
Just a minute, I will set that poll up.
So a yes vote means you believe that Margie is correct. A no vote is that you believe what we were doing before was correct.
Where is that in the bylaws, Lynette? I'd like a citation. while I'm setting this up, please?
To a consent calendar?
No, what you're saying right here.
Right.
I need a
Challenging the
citation in the
chair.
bylaws because I'm challenging your challenge.
Well,
Because in our bylaws, it states that the chair runs the meeting, not the parliamentarian.
I'm
not
not,
the vice chair.
as a
Seem
member
like you're
of
running it to
the
me.
council, as a member of the council, I can challenge the chair. I'm challenging her ruling. That's all I'm doing.
I would like to note the chair does not have a copy of Robert's Rules of Order, that she has a copy of Robert's
Hey,
Rules of Order for
Quinlan,
Dummies.
don't make it messy. With the vote is.
Don't make it messy. Oh my God, really?
Brenda, yeah, don't make it messy, Brenda.
Can we
I think
see?
you've already done that.
Congratulations.
Can we
Call for order, please.
Yes, can we please launch the poll to say yes or no to challenging of the chair's ruling? That's what we need to do. And then we'll move forward once we get that poll vote.
I'm not clear on what, if we're voting yes to challenge the chair.
Yes means that you believe the chair is correct. No, you mean that we have to vote on, that we have to vote to, her ruling was this, and you can correct me, Margie, if I'm wrong in what I'm saying. You believe that we have to vote yes or no if we even want to talk about the mayoral race, or is that, I think that's what you're saying.
I'm just saying the motion was to accept the results from Saturday. We pulled 3 things to vote on separately. And so we need to vote on them, whether we approve those things before we move to any other votes, any other motions. So Lynette thinks I'm incorrect. So we're voting whether to do that. Okay.
Chair procedure for voting on the 2 pulled mayoral races. So if we vote yay, that's yes, we want to vote on the mayoral races, right?
If you vote yay, you want to vote on whether or not to accept. Let me finish. If you vote yay, you vote that yes, you want to vote on whether or not we accept the 2 races independently. And then if we don't accept them, then you vote on the race, you vote on the candidates again.
That is not what she's saying.
That
That
is
is
what
not
I'm
how I
saying.
understood this at all.
You vote
That is
yes
what
to
she's saying.
accept what the chair is saying.
You're voting yes to
Right, Mark,
accept
you
the chair
accept what the
procedure.
chair is saying, or you don't believe what the chair is saying is right. Thank you, Monica. That's exactly what I'm saying.
The question on the poll be reworded for clarity?
No, you've heard it. It's up. I can't reword it without stopping it. Vote yes or no.
I'm sorry, Tom. I think I can be able to answer your question without your angst. Thank you.
I'm sorry. It's just been a long day.
Yeah, so I was not a part of that day at all.
Okay.
God damn, Tiffany, I almost voted yes, thank you. That was,
Heard that. Yep. Has everyone voted? Okay. So the challenge wins. So Lynette, how do you want to do this?
Like we were doing it.
So what way was that?
So we're on, so
hell.
what we're doing is voting. We're having a discussion about the 4 candidates and or the no preference choice. So we still have hands up. We've had 2 speakers for one of the candidates. So Corey, you can put your hand down. Morgan could put his hand down. And Monica. You must be on mute, or do you not?
Lynette, your hand is up as well.
Thank you. Karen, do you want to speak for or against a candidate or for no preference?
Yes, I do.
1 minute, Wanda.
I'm sorry, let me get my, all right. I'm ready.
I'm speaking for no preference. The process in the Democratic Party is to vote and to vote for people we support. And that vote was held. For us to come back and change it in conflict with our bylaws that state that you must be present to vote when you do not have a speaker for and against or the individuals who are running here, it is a complete shadow vote. So I don't think that I want to see the Democratic Party to explain in a local newspaper that we held interviews, we held a vote, and then behind closed doors, without the inclusion of all four of the candidates, we then held another vote. That's not, in my opinion, what a Democratic Party is about. And so I am voting that if we bring this back up at this point, the only respectable, moral thing to vote is no preference. If you decide not to accept the recommendation and hold another set of interviews, that's one thing. But to vote without your candidates here in the shadow, thank you.
Don Lowry, sorry, Don.
Yeah, on the substance of the motion, I will advocate for no preference to try to remain some semblance of order to what we were doing. However, I do wish to more appropriately address the process because I'm very confused. We said at the beginning of the meeting that for items on the floor, there would be 3 for, 3 against. We did not observe that in the initial discussion of Morgan's motion. And then we had a motion to close debate. But now we're having discussion again. I'm very confused about the process here. I'm not sure what we're following, but if it's in order to say vote for no preference, I'm asking people to vote for no preference.
Michelle?
I'm also in favor of no preference. I don't think this vote is legal because it wasn't noticed. I agree with Karen. I think this is under the appearance of being democratic. It's incredibly undemocratic.
Bylaws, your rules.
So
Jackie Arnold was next, then Paula, and then Mona. Dawn, if you don't have anything else to say, could you put your hand down, please? Thank you.
I vote to endorse. I seriously hope that you'll all consider to vote.
Hello, hello,
What's going on?
hello. This is Pato Smith. I've been waiting and I wasn't able to vote on the measure that you just voted on.
Okay, Pat, there was somebody. Pat, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Jackie, you interrupted Jackie Arnold, so we'll put you back in the queue, okay?
Well, please don't forget me because I'm on vacation.
won't.
And
I
called
see.
in.
I see
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
All right. I didn't vote, so I want to vote on the last thing.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Go ahead, Jackie. Sorry about that.
Okay, I hope that everybody will endorse Hakeem Brown for mayor. I've never seen a candidate that would fit so perfect within Vallejo, the city of Vallejo, to lead this city. He has proved himself the last few years. I've watched him closely. He communicates with the kids, with the older people, with the younger people, with every color of people. He's a good man, and I think that he'd be so good for this city, and I think it would be a huge shame for the Solano County Democratic Central Committee to have a no preference in our own city as mayor. I think Hakeem would be a great mayor, and I hope you will endorse him. Thank you.
All right, next we have Mona Whitney Jacoves. I'm sorry, Paula Bauer, I'm sorry, and then Mona.
So for all of the reasons that Karen, Michelle, and Don Lowry said, we need to vote no preference on this. We already held the vote. Hakeem did not win the majority. This is complete undemocratic nonsense, and we're going to look really bad in the paper when this all comes out.
Thank you. Mona?
Okay, I think you can hear me, but I haven't been involved with the Central Committee for a long time, but and I may not know everything, but from my understanding, I wasn't there on Saturday because I thought this was an endorsement committee. And I thought that the results of the committee would come back with their endorsements for us to either say yay or nay. And from what I understand, this is a recommendation. If one candidate did not get a recommendation, then wouldn't it be up to the larger body to have the opportunity to make that recommendation? I mean, that's kind of how I understand it. So I think that we should vote on the mayoral or our mayoral endorsement. That's it.
Okay, and then next we have the caller on the phone with ending in 2821. Please state your
Yeah,
name.
hi, this is Pat Toe Smith. I'm a member of the committee. I'm on vacation and I found out this was happening and here I am on the line. I think we should have stayed with the votes that were cast, the legitimate votes that were cast on Saturday. And I wanted to vote no on the thing you just voted and I wasn't able to vote. And I think we should vote no preference because this was decided. The candidates were there. It was very fair. People were able to ask questions of the candidates. I cannot believe this is even happening. I'm quite shocked, frankly. And so I think we should all vote no preference in a protest because this will come out in the papers and it will look really bad on us that we're changing votes. That's what it seems like to me. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have Nancy Petrowski again.
Yeah, so I'm actually speaking against no preference. And partly because I don't understand how it got onto the ballot. Is that automatically something that you offer on your ballot? Because I don't remember a motion that specifically said to even offer a number of candidates or to offer an option of no preference. So I'm a bit confused as to how that got there. Typically, if you pull an agenda item off of a consent calendar, you can offer a motion for almost anything. And there wasn't a proper motion offered. So how we got to this ballot with 5 things on it, I'm really confused. This is not anything I've ever seen in any kind of a meeting before. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Danny Espinosa. And Mona, could you please, once you guys are called on, could you please put your hands down in the chat? It makes it a little confusing. I can't see. I'm trying to keep track of whose hands is popping up. So Mona, can you put your hand down, please? And Nancy, thank you. All right, go ahead, Danny.
Yeah, hi folks. Thanks for listening. My vote is to endorse Hakeem Brown.
He's out of order. He's out of order. We've already had 3 speakers for.
Okay, thank you.
Whoever has this stuff up needs to put it down.
All right, Steve Quinlan's next.
Am I allowed to speak to the process or just endorse the candidate either way?
The candidate.
Well, there's already been 3 for Hakeem, so I support Hakeem.
All right. And last.
Oh, God.
Okay. No other hands are up. What's this on the screen?
I don't know. He's trying to make a point. So we need
No, what I was trying to do was to show Nancy. She was asking about the no preference, and this is the bylaw where it says that members shall be offered a no preference option. So that's automatic in any vote we have for an endorsement. We don't, no matter where it comes from, if you're endorsing candidates, you have to offer no preference.
So it looks like we've exhausted the list, Tom, so you can put the vote up now. Or the whatever you call it, the ballot.
Yeah, the poll thing, yeah. All right, here it comes.
I can't see it and vote, so somebody needs to take my vote over the phone.
As soon as we finish, we'll get you, okay? Tom,
Okay, thank you.
Tom, call her after we finish. It may make a difference.
Sorry, I was talking to myself. Is everyone done?
I don't know yet. Stop talking to yourself,
I'm not
sir. Pat's on the phone. Don't forget about her.
Nope. And so,
Thank-
Pat, just to be clear, your vote was for no preference, right?
No preference, right?
Okay. Okay.
Did you answer yourself back, Tom?
No, oddly enough, no, I did not. But, so I'm not that crazy yet. But another day like this, and we never know. Okay, I'm sharing the results, but Pat Toth-Smith's vote for that, for no preference, would not change the results because the results are that Hakeem Brown, 59%. Well, it would not be quite 59%. I'll adjust that in the final, but it would be more than 50. Okay.
Okay. And then the third race that was pulled was the Benicia.
Benicia. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure I don't remember who pulled it.
Yeah, neither do I.
I did.
You know,
This is Danny Bernardini.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah, when you get called on, you're
is it?
order.
Okay,
All right.
I'd like to make a.
Danny, which one of the Dannys?
Bernardini.
Bernardini, thank you.
I got it right.
Yeah, you nailed it. What do you need from me at this point?
We need to know, so you pulled the race. Actually, we don't need anything from you. We need it from Tom. How many
That's what I thought.
candidates were there? And then you can speak to whoever you want to speak to.
Okay, so let's see. Can I share it? Oh, here.
I
Sorry.
remember.
Yeah. So there were, of course, there's 2 candidates, but
And no preference.
Yeah, no preference.
Okay. So we're going to use the same process, 3 for whichever, either Christina or Steve. You can speak for either one of those people or no preference. And before we do that, let's go to Pat. Do you have something on the Benicia mayoral race, Pat? Since you're on the
Yeah, I want to say, okay, I want to say that this was not even a close race, and Steve won by quite a majority. So I can't even understand why you're pulling this.
Yeah.
Speaking for Steve, hold on, Pat. You're speaking to endorse Steve Young.
Well, I'm speaking to say, why are you pulling this race when Steve won by a huge majority? That's what I don't understand. It's like there was a preference that came out of that. So how could there be a problem with that race? Tell me.
I agree.
I mean, you know,
okay,
we made an endorsement. So
Pat,
yeah, we made an endorsement.
Ms.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, thank you. Then we're going to either Verdeel or Tiffany, the next people, please.
So the next person whose hand was raised. Sorry, the next person was Michelle Pellegrin and then Steve Young.
Okay, I'm going to make an official complaint.
Hey, I'm in the middle of voting on my endorsement thing. Can I call you back in about 10 minutes?
Steve, can you mute your mic? Thank you. Michelle?
I'm going to make an official complaint to the state party because I think that this is, you know, a lot of people, since it wasn't noticed, a lot of people who voted last time aren't even here tonight. So I think this is just, I don't think this is democratic. No. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, Wanda, I hope you're timing again, please.
So Steve Young was
That's
next.
what I just asked. Thank you.
Okay. Steve Young.
Yes, hi, thank you.
Steve, you get 1 minute, okay?
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand what the hell's happening here. I mean, we went through an endorsement process. I won by 75%. And now people who aren't even there are going to say that somehow that's not legitimate. We have a process, we follow the process, and now people are going to overturn the results because they didn't like the results, who didn't even participate. I think that's beyond undemocratic and unfair.
So ladies.
So the next person is Deborah Dixon.
Margie, you're muted.
Margie's hand was up too.
Oh, I didn't see Margie's hand. I'm sorry, but can we do Deborah
I
Dixon?
don't have a hand raised.
Let me know when you're ready.
I still object to doing this without voting on whether we should vote. I think we should, I mean, I know I was overruled, but I think we should have voted on that before we start a revote on the candidates. And I honestly, I'm considering resigning. I'm really upset about the whole process tonight.
Can I speak again?
No, you're not. You got three
Deborah
people
Dixon.
in front of you. Let's
Can
go.
you put me in the queue?
Deborah Dixon.
I got you, Pat.
Okay,
Go ahead,
thank you.
Deborah.
Thank you. I'd just like to say that Senator Bill Dodd is endorsing Christina Strawbridge. And so I would like to make a motion that we.
No motions.
No motion, excuse me. Then I'd just like to say that we would like to support her. Thank you.
Thank you. Kevin McNamara and then Monica Brown. Kevin, you're recognized.
You're muted, Kevin. There you go.
I'll pass because there are people who can still speak to each of the candidates.
Okay, thank you. Monica Brown, and then after that, Pat Toth Smith.
So I would urge everybody to support Steve Young. He did a great job Saturday. He will do a wonderful job on being a mayor of Benicia. And you need to understand that without his help, we would not have the crude rail would be going all the way to Benicia and causing issues. He understands the issues. He will do a wonderful job. And frankly, 75 out of 25 in my book means that you got at least a C average for those of you who used to get 75% on your tests and stuff. So this is insane to have to redo it. And besides, we never did hear from Danny as to why he even wanted it pulled.
Thank you. Go ahead, Pat. Sorry.
Okay, I'm just going to say I do endorse Steve Young, but I also want to add that I think if this is the case, we should pull all of the people that got endorsed on Saturday, because there is absolutely no reason why Steve needs to be pulled, Steve Young. So we should pull every single vote we made and redo them all, because that's what this sounds like to me, frankly. So that's why I just wanted to say that.
All right, Brenda, and then, thank you, Pat. Sorry about that. And then Brenda, and then Danny, your hand is still up. Danny Bernardini.
Thank you, Tiffany. I just need to say that in my long history with the Democratic Party, I have never experienced anything like tonight. For the first time, I really am ashamed to be a Democrat in Solano County. This is outrageous. This is a model of machine crony politics. The fix is in, and Democrats are sitting around participating in it. Shame on us.
All right, Danny, and then I see Kathy's hand.
Yes, thank you. I pulled this item because, as many have said before, the interviews that were done, much like a lot of our organizations, we have an interview team and they make that recommendation, and it's up to the voting body to do that. And so I am here to say that this entire body should have a chance in this vote. It's a very important race. Christina Strawbridge has been endorsed by the building trades and the Central Labor Council. And we've been talking a lot over the last year about how Dem Party used to be the Labor Party, and we're trying to get back to that. I know Rusty Hicks has talked about that a lot. And this is something where I think a candidate represented by the Dem Party should also be someone that's labor friendly. And so that's why I'm speaking in favor of Christina Strawbridge. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Next we have Danny Espinosa and then Tom Bilbo.
Hi, so I just want to clarify what I can, is this just general comments?
No.
No.
Okay.
You're either
Then I'm gonna
candidate.
lower my hand. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Tom?
You're muted, Tom.
Sorry. So I just wanted to express my endorsement of Steve Young, but I'd also like to, in my 1 minute, read 9.06 and 9.07, the parts that talk about our endorsement process. And for those of you who have not read them, I suggest you go out to our website and read them. The meeting that was held on Saturday was not an endorsement committee meeting. It was a central committee meeting, special meeting to vote on endorsements. Okay, that is all it was. Now, the fact that you didn't show up, you weren't there, I understand there are problems, but that was the meeting where we voted on endorsements. This whole thing tonight is trying to rewrite history, and whoever is going to report this to the party, I think I'm going to support them in that effort.
Good.
Aye.
Paula Bauer, and then I still see several hands that spoke already. I'm not sure. Kathy, your hand is still up. Go ahead, Paula.
Okay, so I think this process is undemocratic nonsense, but I encourage you all to vote for Steve Young because he is the much better candidate of the two. And in fact, we did already endorse him by a large majority. This is really stressful for me. I kind of joined Margie and Brenda in thinking that I'm really embarrassed right now to be a Democrat. This is absolute nonsense. But vote for Steve, even though this process is nonsense.
Okay. Karen Sims, your hand is up. Kathy?
I'm sorry, did you already had 3 speakers for Steve, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so then I am again going to say that I would push for no preference. And the reason why I would do that in my minute is that it clearly says in our bylaws, 907, candidates must receive votes from majority of Central Committee members present and voting to be endorsed by the Central Committee. At no time does it say that we will revote this without the candidates and without the people that were there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I haven't been able to speak yet.
I can't hear.
Hi, this is Kathy.
Michelle, do you have a comment?
Kathy was trying to talk and we can't
Oh, I'm
hear her.
sorry, I
Kathy,
can't
you're going to
hear.
need to yell.
Yeah.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to urge a vote for Steve Young. Steve was overwhelmingly endorsed by the only Democratic club in Benicia. He is a forward thinker. I don't think you can classify him as anti-labor. That's a total misrepresentation. So I urge a vote for Steve Young. He has great experience in getting things done, and he really saved us from the crude by rail project.
Thank you. Michelle, then Brenda.
That was.
Their hands are still up.
So I think this body doesn't have the integrity or knowledge to endorse anyone, and I think we should nullify all endorsements and not endorse this year.
Okay. Thank you. And then Brenda. Nope. All right, Michelle. All right, that's it. Yay.
We're really ready for the ballot.
Which ballot am I putting up?
The 2 candidates and no preference.
Okay.
Steve, you'll have to take Pat's on the phone. I mean, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget Pat.
Yeah, don't forget me.
Hold on just a moment. I need to.
You in Martha's Vineyard?
Closing. Questionnaire should be
It
sent.
will be just a moment. Sorry. Oh, Zoom, you vex me so. Okay. There we go. Vote now, vote early, vote often.
So I'd like to get my vote too.
Okay, yeah, so your vote is what?
Steve Young.
Okay. Okay, it looks like, all right, 30 have voted. Okay, looks like everyone has voted. If you're an alternate and your member is here, do not vote. And Pat, I've got your vote.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm gonna take it to the minute and then I'm gonna cut it. Okay, polling has ended and Steve Young is still our endorsed candidate. He got 17 or 18 votes with Pat Toth-Smith, so it was a little bit more than 53%. 11 votes went to Christina Strawbridge and 4 to no preference. So we have voted on this race twice now and the outcome is still the same. Okay, can I stop sharing results? Does anyone need to take any other notes? Stopping sharing. Next.
Michelle, is your hand up?
Let me check.
I see Don's hand is up too.
And where are we on the agenda?
Has Karen finished her report?
Oh, did they have recommendations? Karen?
Yes, there's lots of recommendations, but the small committee, not the central committee, but the small endorsement committee said that we would meet later and we would write up recommendations. And
So you're gonna send, so this, I'm asking from the bylaws committee. So you have some recommendations to the bylaws that you're gonna send to us in writing?
The bylaws and rules, they're not written yet. We're going to meet. It was an agreement among the.
And once you finish, you'll send them through the central committee to the bylaws?
Yes, bylaws and rules.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
Committee as a whole.
COVID
Someone
committee.
Someone is still on mic and we're hearing you're talking about the committee as a whole. It's quite unprofessional. Perhaps you should mute yourself. We wouldn't want to have another incident.
And Don Rowley has his.
Sorry, Don Lowry has his hand up as well as Rhonda Roshan Smith. Sorry, Margie, just their hands popped up.
I remember they wanted to speak.
No, I recognize Don, so go ahead. Don?
All right. Actually, I had my hand up since we started with Benicia. Just for the record, can you, what was the count on Hakeem, and can you verify those votes so that there's no question that he received a vote of the majority of members? So that no one questions that, because it was, Tom, do you have that data?
Tom, you're muted.
Yes, I'm trying to see if I can pull a poll report. So I don't know if I can pull a poll report for a meeting that's actually active.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Tom, I think you have to wait till the meeting ends and then it pulls all that data. So that's been my experience.
Yeah, I can't pull that data yet. So what we will have to do is, before we can do that, I will have to validate the results and I'll ask some other folks to help me validate the people who voted and to make sure that we didn't. So Jeanette, I will need you, since you control the roster, to help me with that. And then we'll do that. And then we can send an email out, Jeanette, maybe to everyone just to validate the results. But I don't think there's a problem with them, but because I see how many people are voting in each race and it's been consistent, so.
I appreciate that. I just don't want there to be any.
I get it.
Yeah. Validated. Thank you.
Yeah, I get it. And yeah, that's the only way I can do it. Unfortunately, we're tethered with technology.
Rhonda
Thank you.
next.
Yes, I just didn't hear Karen faded at the end of her report, and I'm wondering if she could just repeat what she said with regards to reconvening the committee. Because on Saturday, some of us that were on the committee were excused because there was a smaller group. But now are we all coming back as a larger group, especially if we sat through the full meeting on Saturday?
The entire endorsement committee was invited to both meetings. At the last meeting, when assignments were handed out, there was only a group of about 8. That's who received the assignments to do timing and stuff at the endorsement meeting, because those are the only people that showed up. But yes, every sent out a meeting asking for the endorsement committee to meet. It goes out to every person that was signed up on that list. So you would definitely receive that invitation.
Okay, I'm just asking because Saturday you wanted to only meet with a particular group. So thank you for the clarification.
I just wanted to talk to the people that had an assignment to see if those assignments worked right or wrong. That's all. And that's all we did, was just those.
I appreciate that clarification.
Steve Quinlan and then Tom Bilbo.
What would be the process for us to endorse propositions? Did you get that?
We usually
Question
go
on
ahead.
propositions.
Usually come from the state.
If the state is, we can only endorse the ones that are local, because the state has already done the statewide propositions.
Okay,
So
thank
there's
you.
like a school bond or something like that that's locally, we can, we have in the past voted to support or not support.
Just a point of information, although it was posted, I didn't receive any requests to either speak for or against it by the time of the Saturday meeting, so we decided that we would roll it over and it's on the agenda.
So you, Karen, I want to make sure I heard you. You said that if you asked to bring it to this meeting to vote for the local propositions?
It's on the agenda, not necessarily to vote, but for us to decide what we wanted to do, because I did not hear from anybody who wanted to speak before or against it, and so there was no appointment at the interview meeting for that. However, they were very late in getting the city and the cities were very late in getting the statements for and against up for the measures, and so I'm not sure that they really had, an opportunity to do that.
Okay, Tom, and then we need to move the agenda.
Yeah, I was just gonna speak to the fact that, yeah, we are gonna have I've got a poll set up for the ballot measures, because I thought that's what we were gonna do, Karen. Maybe I was wrong in doing that, but we do have a poll set up for the local ballot measures. Like I think Tiffany said, the propositions are not in our purview to endorse.
Right. No, but we can vote on them tonight.
We can vote on the propositions.
Ballot measures, not
Ballot
propositions.
Yeah, ballot measures.
Yeah. The technical writer in me is coming out.
All right, Margie.
Is that E? I mean, wasn't that, or is that something else? Oh, okay, that's part of our endorsement. We're set up to vote on the ballot measure, so let's do that.
Actually, it's lower down in it's new business.
Oh, okay, so we have that later.
Yeah.
And we did get some, well, the recommendations that were sent to the committee. I think we all read that in our packet before we came. Okay, COVID committee. Do you have a report?
Yeah, I do. So,
Michelle, you have 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
So last month, the COVID-19 committee did research to determine which demographics were being hit the hardest in Solano County. Subsequently, we wrote a letter to the Board of Supervisors asking that educational campaigns be developed for these groups. The letter was presented at the last committee meeting. It was determined by a 60-40 vote that the letter should be rewritten, taking into account input from other committee members. This was done, and a new letter, which only asked for data, was submitted to the e-board. The e-board rejected the letter, saying, quote, the e-board recognizes the seriousness of the issue, but does not believe that the letter is the best avenue to address it. Solano County has had nearly 1,000 new COVID cases in the last 2 weeks. This weekend alone, there were 158 new cases and 2 deaths. So my question is, since the e-board recognizes that COVID-19 is serious, what is their recommendation for addressing the matter? What would they suggest as the best avenue? And what is wrong with back and forth? That's my report.
Thank you.
And you did it under a minute. You did it just at a minute. Perfect.
I'm working on it.
E, it says proposal. Actually, I'm not really sure what that is. Tom? Okay, well, let's move on to new business. The door hangers, we've got the door hangers ordered, and they're going to be coming to my house, and we'll need to put our endorsed candidates on our door hangers. So we're going to be needing to ask for some money, and Bridget Hunley was researching the price and offered as part of the campaign headquarter committee to get them printed and give us a quote. So is she here?
I'm here.
Oh, good. Okay, Bridget.
I already texted you earlier, but just so you have it from Wheeler and others as well, we checked the lowest possible. It will be that this is because the state party is doing them differently this year. They're doing them 2-up, which is a different format than they've done before. So it might be cheaper than last time, but we need to allocate for up to $31.24, which actually is how much we paid last time, but it might be as low as $22.56. They have to see whether the new format, how it works on their machines. So it could cost as much as $31.24 for all 60,000, or it could cost as low as $22.56. It's based on how much time it takes them to put them through the machines and then cut them and so forth, because they're done 2-up, which they used to be just single. So it's a different format. So we need to allocate up to $31.24 for the total printing cost.
So we're dividing it by congressional district. So we'll have the candidates in one.
Everyone's going to get them.
Yeah, everyone will get them. So
We have 3 hands up.
Plenty.
Good. All right.
Tom, your hand was up first. You're being recognized. Tom, you're on mute.
Yeah, no, my hand was up from the last time, so I
okay.
re-raised it so that the
Okay.
people who were in before me could go. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Michelle?
Yeah, so I'd like to make a motion, since some of us are going to be filing a complaint that these doorknob hangers are not printed or handed out until it's decided by the state.
If they're not even here yet, they won't arrive until after Labor Day, roughly.
Okay, I'm still saying
Sure.
that since we have a complete split on the committee, and until this is resolved, I make a motion that we do not print those doorknobs hangers.
Lynette Henley, your hand's up.
She has a motion. She needs to get a second before I talk, because I'm not speaking on that.
I second it.
It was moved and second. Brenda Crawford, second. The chair, March, going to carry through the motion?
Move not to print the door hangers until we have a recommendation from the state. Is there any discussion? Or actually, we were going to have 3 people speak for it. Does anyone want to speak in favor of this?
Well, I have a motion on the floor. Is that what you want in favor of?
Yes, I want to know if, yeah, you can speak in favor of.
But Nancy, I think that was Nancy.
Michelle.
Sorry, Michelle. So you I just want to clarify because I want to do a rebuttal. So you're saying that you want us to hold off getting any printing done of the local endorsements that we just did, and that slate, the rest of it, all of it, until we get a ruling from the state party. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that
I'm
is it
sorry.
my
Yeah, Lynette, can I withdraw my second? If that was the case, I thought we were only talking about the local races until we clear that up. I'm not willing to hold up the state process. So I withdraw my second.
Okay, I'll amend
And
it.
just a point of
Wow.
information,
I'll amend it, Brenda.
Margie, where are you?
The state party, the state party door hangers are coming already printed with the state, endorsements on there. We need a motion to allocate $3,124 to print our local races. And
Motion on the floor.
Michelle's motion is to Michelle, go ahead, restate your motion.
So we can pass out the door hangers if you want, but it's just that not to print the central committee's endorsements on it until we get a decision from the state Democratic Party on our process.
This is Paula. I'll second that.
Okay, so now,
So we need to have people speak for and against the motion.
okay, so I would speak against that motion because we're going to hold up the door hangers that I really don't think we should put $3,000 for anyway.
Okay, but we need to get our three people, we need to.
I was trying to speak against it right now.
I didn't want to speak, but we were going to get our three.
Okay, I'll wait.
3 pro and 3 con, and then alternate back and forth. So yes, you can be I see your hand up, but we need to, follow our process. So let's clear the hands up. Would you everyone take your hand down, please? And we need three people who would like to speak in favor of the motion. So raise your hand, push your raise hand button if you would like to speak in favor of the motion.
And that motion.
And, Vice Chairs, will you?
Yes, Kathy.
Yes, I think it's very important that
Okay, Kathy, don't speak just yet. I was just trying to get 3 people that want to speak. It looks like only one person wants to speak in favor.
Well, you got 2 hands up now.
Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone else want to make the third?
Brenda Crawford.
Okay, so we have three in favor, and now we're going to take your hands down, take all the hands down, and we'll take 3 people who will speak against the motion. So, Vice Chairs.
We got Lynette Henley, Don, and Corey Penrose.
Okay.
They're speaking against.
Okay, so we'll have the first person pro speak. So that was, who was that? The first person. Vice Chairs?
Really, it was Kathy.
Kathy.
Tiffany and Vernell, we're waiting on you to give us the names.
Yeah.
We said Kathy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kathy.
I was muted, Kathy. Yes.
Okay. Time has started.
Kathy, you're recognized.
Mute yourself.
Time should start when they first start talking.
Okay, let me redo it.
Okay, who is the next person?
Kathy, Paula, and Brenda were the three hands up.
Paula, go ahead while Kathy figures it out.
Actually,
No, I
I
think
was
it was
second.
Nancy.
It's the timer, I thought.
Okay, I'm waiting. Okay.
Yeah, it was actually Kathy and Nancy and then Brenda. So I would be second if Kathy is still getting her technicals together.
Go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me? Hi,
Nancy.
this is Kathy.
Oh, back to Kathy.
Yes, I'm sorry. You don't seem, I'm connected on the phone, but you're not hearing me when I speak on the phone.
We hear you.
Okay, I think that until you know from the state whether these endorsements are legitimate, you can't put them on the door hangers, because if the state were to say, no, they're not legitimate, then what are you gonna do? Recall all of them? Go take them all off the doors? The door hangers are important, and without knowing the results, you need to hold on to them until the state has gotten back.
Okay, and now we're gonna go to someone who's against the motion.
Can I speak? I was against?
Yes,
Yeah.
you may.
Okay, I was waiting for our vice chairs. Okay.
Yeah.
So I am against holding up the door hangers for two reasons. One, I don't think we have $3,000 to have the printing done. Maybe I'm wrong. And secondly, one of the candidates that you really wanted to have endorsed would also hold up his race getting put on the whatever you call it, on the door hangers, because we're holding it up waiting for a ruling of the Rules Committee, and they don't meet regularly, and they're not going to expedite their ruling on this until they have a regular meeting. That's just how it works. So we may not get a ruling till October or November, and we're sitting holding 60 door hangers that could have gone out if we just went ahead with the process. And we keep acting like the Endorsement Committee is a committee of the whole. They're an ad hoc committee that functions as a committee. So I would ask that we, if we're gonna spend thank you.
Okay. So the next pro.
So is that,
Nancy.
Nancy.
okay.
Great, thank you. So I think that Michelle's motion is a wise motion. We don't want to hold up the use of the party door hangers. We want to get those put out. And if a ruling comes back that says that these endorsements are invalid, then we're going to have to trash those and not use them. We would not be in an appropriate place to be using them. So allocating the money at this time seems a little bit short-sighted. I don't think we should be allocating the money at this time for this because we don't have an adequate ruling and we would waste party resources. Thank you.
We've heard from 3 pros and 3 cons. Madam Chair.
I don't think
haven't.
we have actually. we need another con.
Okay.
That was Brenda, I believe, was trying
Yeah,
to.
I was a third con.
Yeah, and I was a pro.
Yeah.
Who's I?
So we had Lynette, and then we had two
Nancy.
others. No, Nancy is a pro. So we had Kathy, who's a
Kathy.
pro. Then we had Lynette, who's a con, and then we had Nancy, who's pro. So we should have someone who was con, and I know we had 3 people.
And that would be Corey.
I was the third con.
Okay.
Who was that?
Well, let's go ahead,
Corey
Corey.
Penrose.
Corey.
Don was the second one,
Oh,
and
that's
then it would be Brenda, and then it would be Corey. So
Brenda
Dawn
is a
would be
pro.
next.
Ooh, Brenda is a pro.
I know, but Dawn was the con. We haven't heard from Dawn. Dawn was the second one. It was Lynette, Dawn, and Corey.
Okay.
So Dawn, it's your turn.
My turn or Dawn's turn?
I believe it's my turn.
Dawn's turn.
I'll echo what Lynette said. Well, paraphrase. Basically, we're arguing over one endorsement. The vast majority of our endorsements from Saturday were ratified. These are local Democrats, in many cases running against Republicans, and the Rules Committee is not likely to come out with a ruling in a timely fashion. We should not be holding these up for candidates who are running against Republicans over what is ultimately an intra-party spat.
Okay, thank you. And then Brenda?
Yeah, well, you know, for me, it is not about the candidates. I just want that to be very clear. It is about the process. It is about polluting the democratic process. And I just think that that is so beyond having anything to do with the local spat that I can't even, I'm almost speechless at the fact that we as Democrats are even sitting up here talking about corrupting the process the way we have. And so that's what it's about for me, a corrupt process. And so I don't care who we hold up. Corruption trumps everything.
Thank you, Brenda. And Corey?
Hello, committee. I work in Vacaville. We have some very corrupt candidates who are some very corrupt politicians who are currently serving in office who need to be replaced. If we want to replace the corrupt candidates in office, we need to have a functioning political apparatus. We don't need to sabotage our functioning political apparatus because our apparatus can replace corruption. Our apparatus can take corruption out of office and replace with people who share our values and who share our beliefs. I urge the committee to vote down this motion. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll be voting on whether we want to hold up the printing until we have a ruling from the state. So we're ready to vote.
I have a question. So hold printing until ruling from the state. Okay, got it. Nay.
Sorry, I was trying to do it with as little words as possible.
Yeah. Okay.
Karen, your hand is up.
I just had a question about the motion, but it's too late now.
Coming for a minute. All right, has everyone voted? I got 31 votes. That's what we need. Ending polling. Share results. So the motion fails.
Okay.
Right? Is that what I say? Motion fails? No.
Thank you.
So now you need the motion to spend the money.
Yes.
But do we get discussion on that?
Yeah, once, yes.
Okay.
Well, let's
have a motion.
Maybe we won't have to. Is there a motion to spend the money to put the local candidates on the door hangers?
I'll make a motion for that.
And I second Corey Penrose.
Thank you. Is there discussion? The same process. So everybody.
There's two hands up. There's two hands up. Hardwick and Monica Brown.
And then Tom.
And then Tom. Tom just came in. Okay. So Hardwick's hand was up first.
All right. Jim? Did you have a comment or did you want to be on the side of the pro?
No, excuse me. I've forgotten why I was putting my hand up. Okay.
Okay, Monica's next. Monica Brown.
So my question is, what is the maximum amount of money? I heard from Bridget, and I want to know the minimum. And what I'm interested in is Christina Gutierrez, who is West Sac and a Latina. Did anybody talk with her? And
Yep.
what was her amount?
Yep. She is one of the quotes, and she is in the same range as Wheeler because the new format is 2 up, and neither of them know how it's going to work on their equipment.
So
both
I
of
would
them-
like, okay, that's all I needed to know. So I would like that we go with the Latina so that we try to start sharing with our minority communities that need the business.
Oh,
So I'll
okay,
vote
but
yes,
we're
but that's where I
still-
would want it to go to.
We have a motion on the floor, so could we vote on the motion? And this is a maximum that we're voting on, so we may be able to get it.
It might be $1,000 less. We don't know.
So do we have 3 people who would like to speak to, in favor of the motion? So,
So I still see 2 hands up, Monica
Okay,
Brown and
yeah.
Tom Bilbo.
So I
If
don't,
you-
I'm sorry, I don't want to speak in favor.
okay.
I have to
So
work.
could you take your hand down for?
Yeah, sorry, there.
Okay. So
Okay.
3 in favor. Okay. So Jim?
You remember?
Yeah, I remember this time.
Okay.
I was, I delivered an awful lot of these door hangers. I spent probably 80 hours delivering them in the last election, and we didn't get, I don't know what percentage of them we got, but there was an awful lot left over. And I'm very anxious to get these early on, get them printed as soon as we can, so we can get as many of these as possible delivered. I think these are very important elections, and we want to replace an awful lot of Republicans in these offices.
Thank you. Bridget?
Hey, just in favor of this, Rusty Hicks has promised to get these to us as soon as possible, hopefully by Labor Day, if not before. And also that the range of price is not arbitrary. It might be lower, but if it's up to the top amount, it's because they had to do a lot of manual labor. And these are, again, union shops. So we're paying our union brothers and sisters to do work. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else for a pro? We need 1 more.
I'd be happy to speak in favor.
Okay,
I
go
think
ahead,
it's
Corey.
important that we move the process forwards. I think it's important that we spend the money. I think it's important that we make sure that our democratic apparatus functions as well as it possibly can. Therefore, I would ask you to vote in favor of the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Corey. All right, cons. Who is not in favor? Raise your hand. I see Tom Bilbo. Who else? This is against, con. Going once. Okay, Lynette Henley. Anybody else? Going twice. All right, go ahead, Mr. Bilbo, and then after that, it'll be Lynette.
So
Listen.
I'm advocating for not printing these, and here's why. It is not to not give union shops money. I'm all about union printing. I do that in everything, but it is because we are in a pandemic and having people go out. We don't have a plan for how these are going to be distributed, and nothing is set up so that the distribution mechanism has been set up. So what is the plan? We just are doing this piecemeal, coming up with print, or whatever, but there's no time. There's nothing about how we're going to get them to wherever they go. I know I am not going to be distributing a damn thing because I'm in a morbidity class and I don't want to get infected. There, done.
Lynette?
I would echo what Tom said about being in a pandemic. I'm in one of the whatever classes of people that can't be around other people, and I just don't think it's safe. And then I had a question through the chair to the treasurer. Do we have enough money to print this stuff? I don't know if Morgan's still on or not. And that's all I had. But
Okay.
I keep forgetting that I have to unlock my my headphones in order to speak. Yeah, I would the amount is for 30 something, right?
And then, is it state or federal? Will be
Federal.
pulling from?
Federal monies.
Because the president and the congressman are on there.
Morgan, did you give us an answer?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you not hear me? I
No.
apologize. The amount was for like 30 something $100, correct? So I think we have more than enough in the account.
In the federal account to do it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
No
thank
problem.
you. So
Wait, there was one more
is
person.
there one more person?
Yeah,
We-
so it's me. It's me.
Mhm.
I do not agree with the door hangers for the above stated reasons. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and as Tom has so eloquently said, we do not have a distribution plan or a strategic way of getting these said door hangers out. I also brought up the fact that if we're going to ask clubs to be able to do this, are we providing the PPE for them to be able to do that? And so my ruling is no until we have a plan.
Okay, so we've had 3 for and 3 against the motion to spend the $3,124, up to $3,124 on printing on the door hangers. You have
There's one more hand up. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Brenda's hand was
well,
up.
well, we have 3.
Yeah, we have 3.
We have 3. It's 3 and 3.
Okay.
All right. Poll it.
Sorry, I gotta find it. I don't know where it went.
Go ahead, Lynette. You're recognized while he finds the poll.
And I know Tom's in the middle of fixing our stuff. Is there a way for us to do an electronic door hanger? So if we're doing texting and all that to give information out,
Yes, there is.
Yeah, graphic.
graphic of some sort?
We can do it via email because we have that with Nation Builder. Thank you,
Okay.
Morgan, for paying the bill. And then we also have it, we can do text blast, but I don't know about the image piece of the text blast, but we can at least send them a link to look at our endorsements.
Okay, thank you.
So we're voting on printing because we have the door hangers, or we will.
Real quick, what was the high price? 3,300?
$3,124 is the high max.
You're
Up
recognized,
to that
Jenna?
amount.
You're recognized, Jenna?
Is it okay for me to just put 3,200? Because that seems like.
Yeah, go ahead.
What happens if there's tax?
Go ahead, Jenna. You're recognized.
So quick question, are we actually talking door hangers or just literature drops? Because door hangers actually get a little closer to the house and we're talking COVID, et cetera, et cetera. So door hangers are actually more expensive than just a regular flyer. So just heads up on that.
This is what was already ordered from the state party by the Central Committee. Margie ordered 60,000 of them last month.
Got it, thank you.
And the congressman is
You
on
do
them.
not have to put it on the door. You could put it, at the front porch.
On the gate, whatever.
It's
But
just that doing the cutting of an actual door hanger is expensive, so got it, thanks.
But we are not paying for that. The state.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is the poll ready?
Yes, it is. Here it comes. Ready to vote? Go for it. Ooh.
Where do I go to find the poll again? I accidentally closed it.
Check behind your screen, one of your screens. Didn't minimize something.
If you click polls, it should come up.
I was behind my screen.
I know, Kevin.
He's retired.
Y'all get those naps in. See, y'all up like spring chickens. The rest of us are like,
Okay, we have 30 votes. Someone didn't vote, but can we end the poll? If you didn't vote and you want to vote, oh, there we go, 31, ending poll. So, drum roll, please. Okay, it passes to print. Are you hearing me?
Okay, so moving on to the window sign promotion update. Thomas.
Okay, so we should be having the window signs the first full week of September, and we're under the cost that we had set up. So, and we're getting them printed on two sides. I think I shared them with you guys before. One is English, one is, what is that word?
Spanish?
Yes, thank you. It's been a long damn day. Anyway, yeah, and so that people can choose which way to put them, or if they want every other day, they can swap them around. So.
Okay, so we'll be watching for that, and we can all.
Yeah, and I'll work with Morgan to set up the buy piece on Act Blue.
Okay, thanks. That'll be great. You want to show everybody the window hanger or the window?
Sure. Hold on. I'm gonna.
I know you have it.
Click over to it. There we go. Oh Jesus! Why is so much stuff?
Well.
Sorry, I don't mean to. Oh, here we go. There we go. So that's the English sign, of course. And it's the reason the price is down is it doesn't look like it, but this is actually one color of ink. Just this is a screen and that is a single ink. So that's how we got it down. I got the pricing down some by having it be one color of ink. And there's some sort of chat stuff going on. Yeah, okay. You can get one once we get them, and then we'll get them to you. And then the Spanish version, which I could not remember. Hold on, I didn't share my screen. I shared just a window. There, yeah. So that's the Spanish version, and Natalie helped me to do this, and a couple of other folks too, because Google was a little not copacetic with how to do it.
Okay, thanks. That looks really good. So let's all get those and put them in our windows and get them for all our friends and everybody we know. Endorsement wrap up. Karen?
I don't think there's need for anything else.
There's a hand up, Jana Modena.
Janet?
I don't think she meant to have her hand up. Can we keep going?
Okay, so were we going to
what's the next
vote
up?
on the
are we at new
measures,
business?
the ballot measures? Wasn't that
Yeah,
part
so
of it?
that's actually a new business. We did all the.
Okay, I keep trying to skip ahead. All right, so
Yeah.
so the rest of this we can just move on to new business.
Yes, we already
Uh,
went through all that.
yeah, because we already did that. Okay, so new business, open meetings and public records. So what's
Through the chair, please. Have our endorsement recommendations as a whole been ratified?
Yes.
That's what the vote was that we did earlier this evening.
So we ratified the consent calendar. And have we ratified the new endorsements?
Yes,
Okay.
because it was a committee of the whole.
It's on the agenda as two different items.
That
So
was, yeah,
the vote
sorry.
and then ratification.
Yeah, but that was,
We kind of skipped ahead on that. We did that earlier. So anyway, let's move on to open meetings and public records. Is that
me.
Thomas?
Yeah. So as the information resource officer, which controls the records and stuff for that, we had, of course, we live streamed our endorsement meeting, the Central Committee endorsement meeting on Saturday. And we did that to be transparent. I did not set up the live stream for this, but I did have a chance to speak to Gary Shea with the Rules Committee. And I also did some delving into our bylaws, plus also the bylaws that are from the state, and then also the bylaws from the DNC. And so anything that we have in a public meeting, which this is a public meeting, even though it's on Zoom, is supposed to be available for the public to look at. And since our endorsement meeting was a public meeting, according to our own bylaws and Robert's Rules of Order, plus the state meeting, state bylaws and the DNC bylaws, and also the state open meetings policy, we need to release minutes, all documents that were used in that meeting. So I don't know if it's a vote necessarily, because it's what is in the policy of the California Democratic Party as according to open meetings. And so I just wanted to make sure people understood that those things will be released.
And so they'll
Get to the next med.
I'm sorry.
This is Lynette. So they'll be posted on our website like the DNC.
Yes,
Not
ma'am.
like we're sending them to the paper or somebody.
No, they're just
like
yeah. So what I'm gonna do is before this is just all right. Someone is like crunching on some really great sounding potato chips that I don't have.
Your mic. Bridget, please.
I need those potato chips. Anyway, but so the meetings that we have had that we have recorded via Zoom will be pushed to our YouTube channel, and that's where they will start to live, and because we'll be live streaming to that, so that our constituents of the elected members can come and look at what's going on. Plus, also we'll have links to any materials that are out there. And then the minutes from the previous meeting as well, so that people can see that. Because like I was saying, according to those laws, because I was a little disturbed by not being able to share this with the public and that kind of stuff. But because we are, well, not me, but some of you are elected officials with constituents in certain supervisory districts, and those constituents need to be able to see what is going on with their elected officials. So, okay. I think
All right, we
Morgan
have,
had his hand up.
yeah, there was Michelle Pellegrin, and then Morgan, and then Carrie Birdsides after that.
Okay.
So go ahead, Michelle.
Thanks, Tiffany. I'm just backing up a bit. Steve, I think that the sign in Spanish has some errors in it in terms of grammar. You might want to double check it.
I've had 4 different native Spanish speaking.
You can add me to that list. I think it's perfect.
Oh, okay. All right, then.
Agree.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Morgan. Morgan.
Keep forgetting about, I gotta unplug my microphone, sorry, or my headphones. I was actually gonna talk about what Tom had mentioned, that I had been requesting the poll results for a while, and in the future, if we're gonna be putting it on the YouTube, unless we're doing a Zoom, unless we're doing a roll call vote on every single issue, we're gonna need to be publishing the Zoom results too, because aren't our votes public as well?
Yeah, yes, they are.
Okay, Carrie?
I just want to make sure that this meeting that's being recorded now will be accessible via YouTube or somewhere else.
Yeah, everything's gonna go on our YouTube channel,
Thank you.
including all the results of the polls and all that kind of thing. Now, if I will, as far as who voted for what, that is on a per ask basis according to the policy that I read. If someone wants to see that, then that's available. But the results are what comes out of the meeting, because that's the action in the meeting, not the other stuff. Anyway, yeah.
The totals are published, that's what you're saying.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. It's been a long day. I keep saying that, and I just can't help but keep saying that.
And yes, it's 9:39. Can we please move the meeting?
The next thing is the conduct issue at the endorsement meeting. I sent a letter to everyone on the committee, so I think everyone's aware of what happened. That there was a side talk at our meeting that was inappropriate and actually insulting to one of our candidates who demanded, who sent us actually a very polite letter asking for an apology, and which we did. The offending members apologized to the candidate, and we put up a letter to the candidate and his campaign, and we do want to be sure that nothing like this ever happens again. That really reflects very badly on us and on the whole party. So you have to just be on your very best behavior and try not to forget that you're on camera and that you're being recorded. And I don't actually think these people meant to be insulting to the candidate. I think they were just joking around or thinking they were somewhere else. So I want you guys to be all really, really careful. And I do think we need to respect each other. Every one of us is a volunteer, and every one of us is elected, and we have to take our job seriously, and we have to take our responsibility to the public seriously. And the candidates, we really want people to run as Democrats. We want people to step up as Democrats. Maybe we have a favorite, but we want people to be Democrats. So we don't want to be doing things that discourage people from stepping up. So can we move on to the code of conduct? We thought we would have a committee. We've been going basically on the code of conduct that's put out by the state party, and I sent a copy of that to everyone. You can look that up. You can go to the state party and look up the bylaws, and I recommend everyone do that. We thought we'd put a code of conduct into our own bylaws. So we'll need to get volunteers who would like to work on that issue. I know a lot of people have indicated that they're interested in that. So I'm thinking that we will get a good committee to work on that.
Margie, there's several hands up.
There's some hands up.
Yeah, the first one was Brenda, then me.
Okay.
Then Carrie.
Yes, there are a lot of hands up. Okay, Brenda.
Okay. Thank you very much. With all due respect, Margie, I don't want us to minimize what happened as though folks were kidding. It was serious enough that we should take that comment as being egregious behavior that will absolutely not be tolerated, ever. This was a young African-American man that was profiled by one member of our own party. That's the essence of racial profiling. And so I want us to take it serious. I don't want us to shine it out and like, okay, it was okay. No, it was not okay. So I would ask that we take the code of conduct and any work that we're doing in that area seriously.
Thank you, Brenda.
I was next.
Yeah.
And just kind of echoing in the same sense of what Brenda said, it was insulting. And as a Black woman, that everywhere I step and go in this world, I'm ostracized, whether it's in front of my face or behind my back. And one thing we said that we were going to do in this Central Committee was be more inclusive. And what happened on Saturday, and I want to commend Brenda, because I was away from my device, and had I been there, it probably would have been another issue, because it was completely inappropriate. And I want to go on record saying that. And so we need to figure out, because the lid has been blown off, we need to figure out how we're going to move forward past this. Nobody should feel unwanted coming into this environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiffany.
I believe my hand's up next. I just want you to know that my daughter, who lives in San Francisco, alerted me to the candidate's Instagram story that had over 1,000 views on it. This is serious. This behavior cannot be tolerated, and for that reason, I will volunteer to be on the Code of Conduct subcommittee, because I was embarrassed. It put a black mark on everything we did that day. Karen and Tom did such a good job keeping us on schedule, being very, very respectful to everybody that came in our door, came into our Zoom room, treated all of us with utmost respect, which hasn't happened tonight. And I think that we need to clean up our act, not tomorrow, today. And I want to be a part of doing that.
That's time.
Great. Lynette
Henley was next.
Thank you. Yes, when that happened, Brenda said it before I could say something. And I looked at it through the lens of the party. And so, and I took it very serious. And so I did contact Rusty to alert him to the situation that was going on, that we were having an emergency meeting. And so the party always lets you deal with it at the local level first. And if it had not been dealt with at the local level, it would have been bumped up to the next level. And the parties that did say things have apologized to the committee. And I would hate for us to try to I want the code of conduct put into our bylaws. I don't want you to get that wrong impression. But I think as trying to craft something differently, because this took over almost 6 months to a year to get the wording in, and there's
That's time. Sorry.
Next person is Tom Bilbo, then Danny, and then Alexander, and then Don, in that order.
Hi. Okay, so yeah, everything that you guys said before about the incident, yeah, I agree with. And thank you for Carrie for calling it out, but I also want to call out some other people, specifically Corey for helping, and Tiffany Jones, and Wanda, and everyone else that worked on that day. That was very disheartening to now have this shadow over all the work that we did, because it wasn't just one day, it was a couple of weeks of work, and Karen and I calling people, Tiffany reaching out to candidates, all of us trying to find these candidates. But that said, I do want to be on the committee that helps with the code of conduct, and I think we should probably take the DNC and the CADEM's code of conduct and start there, because they're pretty good and we just use them. But yeah, so that's it.
Nancy. Then Danny.
Thanks. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify too, it is a misconception sometime to think that jokes are just jokes. Having grown up on the East Coast, where I lived through a lot of different kinds of ethnic jokes, I can tell you that they're really harmful and confusing, and we recognize them in the field of mental health as microaggressions. And if you've never heard about microaggressions, it's something you want to read about. I'm sure the committee that comes together might be able to provide some information, or I can certainly help with that as well. But jokes are not just jokes. Thanks.
Danny?
Yeah, thanks. Hey everyone. I did not hear about the incident, and I unfortunately was away from the phone when we started this conversation. But just hearing what everyone's saying, I think that any form of racism or hate, especially that represents our county or this party, should immediately be denounced and investigated. And that's it. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Alex, then Dawn.
Good evening, everyone. Just wanted to just also echo what has been shared here. I found I actually saw it a few days after it had happened. I logged off the call after my interview was finalized, but I just want to underscore that we as men of color, and same goes for women of color too, we walk into these spaces and it takes a lot of courage for us to, you know, go through these questions, answer them, and even be running for office, especially for a 20-something-year-old. And I'm 31 and I was nervous. So, you know, it really, when I saw it a few days after, I was like, now I have to think about biases. Like, it's not only me preparing. It's one thing if folks disagree with me on a policy position, but if folks are already coming in with some preconceived notion about who I am as a person, even if I have myself put together, then that's an entirely different ballgame, and it's really unfair, and it's not inclusive.
Thank you. Don Lowry.
Dawn.
Next on the agenda.
Sorry. I
sorry, Don.
Everyone else's comments. For myself, I was still processing, getting beyond the fact it was a rather dumb comment to even think about the wider implications. I do think we need to think not just about a code of conduct, but perhaps we also need to think about just having workshops or training on implicit bias and the various issues, because I think it would go beyond just having a piece of paper saying we're going to behave ourselves. We perhaps need to have a deeper discussion.
Okay. Thank you. So if you'd like to be on the Code of Conduct Committee, would you go ahead and email the secretary so we can get this going right away? And also indicate if you'd like to be the chair.
Margie, that's going to the bylaws committee, so I am the chair.
Oh, right. But I mean, yeah, they can make recommendations to send to the bylaws committee.
I'm not saying that. We'll put the people that want to be on this particular piece, because there's several things coming to the bylaws committee. They can all be there for that. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay, thank you. So you'll be setting up a meeting for this?
Yeah, and we were trying to wait. This one can go first, and we'll try to do this in the next 2 weeks. But we also have recommendations coming to the bylaws committee from the endorsement committees, the endorsement committee. So I know they're two separate things, but we can get the code of conduct working in conjunction with the endorsement people. And I thought there was a third thing coming to bylaws, but I don't know what it was. I don't remember right now.
Okay, so let's get this going right away. Thank you. Okay, oh, here we go, new business, ballot measure endorsement vote. So I know we all got the endorsement. It's someone is speaking in favor. We got someone who wants us to endorse a certain measure in Fairfield, and there was no opposing argument. It looks like there's no opposing argument from anybody at all. So, but Thomas, do you have that up?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Treasurer in Fairfield. Yeah.
But I had to split it into two because you can only do 10 questions per poll. So we have ballot measure 1 and ballot measure 2.
Oh, okay.
With different questions on each. For each, and they're in there by their CD, whatever, nomenclature. So I didn't put the text of the ballot measure because you have that. It was sent to you. Read. Hooked on Phonics is good. Okay.
I'm sorry, I only received one ballot measure.
Yeah, that's what I thought. There was only one too. So might have to explain to us what else was supposed to be on there.
There was a booklet that went out that had all of the measures.
The one I received only had the cannabis on it.
Okay, well there are. I sent out one that had everything. I thought, but either way, we have more like 12 measures to vote on, and they've been out on the county site for about a month now. If you want, let me see if I can upload a file.
There's a question on the floor from Lynette, Monica, and Carrie in that order. Wow, he's pulling it up.
Yeah.
You're recognized, Lynette.
Thank you. I only saw the one with the agenda, but I know you sent something out earlier with all of them. Did the endorsement committee have recommendations on any of them?
We did not. The endorsement as a whole, the committee as a whole, the central committee did not consider these at our endorsement meeting. So the community as a whole did not do that. The ad hoc committee never considered any of these. All we were doing was process. So the committee as a whole on the endorsement day did not consider the measures. And so the committee as a whole now has to consider the measures.
Okay, thank you.
Monica Brown, you're recognized.
So which of these measures have not been endorsed by the party?
Well, these are local measures.
Okay, well, it was, I'm just asking, so.
Endorsed by the party. We're the party.
Not a problem. It was just when I needed a clarification. Will next to the bond, or not next to the bond, will next to the number give us like where it's from? Because I don't have them all memorized from the local level.
Yes, it does.
Okay, thank you.
If you'll give me a minute, I'll put up so it has Measure C, Resolution City of Fairfield, but I can also put in the blurb, not the blurb, but the sort of like what it is. Sorry, I thought it had everything, but now I'm looking at my file and it does not. You're right, it only had one. I am sorry for that. That was in my haste in trying to get stuff out to you.
Just a little bit of info sounds good. That's all I need, and it'll refresh my memory. Thank you.
Okay, I'll put it had a blurb, and so I'll put that in there. Talk amongst yourselves for like 5 minutes.
Okay, Carrie, you're next.
I can speak in favor of the Benicia cannabis ballot measure whenever that's appropriate. If we have 5 minutes to fill, I can do that now through the chair.
Sure, we're waiting.
So Benicia has been trying to get new dispensaries in our community for the past 5 years. And when a new council was voted in 2018, they gutted our ordinance and left a bunch of retail businesses hanging. These businesses had spent tens of thousands of dollars trying to go through the proper channels in Benicia to do business in Benicia. Legal business. And then the rules were changed on everybody. We went from 2 retail establishments to 1. And a lot of people were upset about that. And so what's on the ballot this time is just an advisory vote for Benicia. Do you want more than one retail cannabis dispensary in Benicia? And
I'm sorry, that was
that's,
more than,
that's
that's
the,
been more, it's a time. Sorry,
That's
I
all
didn't
I
know if
got.
you wanted to extend that.
How are we doing, Tom?
Almost there. Did you hear me?
Does anybody want to make an announcement while we're waiting?
So is that the only one up for grabs tonight? Is the cannabis one? I thought there was
No,
another one.
there's like 13 of them.
Did anybody want to speak on those? Or is anybody here for those?
There's Measure G in Vallejo. There's Measure D or C in Fairfield.
I can do the Vallejo tax one if you guys are interested.
Sure, well.
You got a minute.
I can do that. I live in Glen Cove, which has not had a fire station for 12 years. And as the red flag warnings were starting to ratchet up, we were more than a little nervous. Measure G will reopen our fire station, which is something my community sorely needs. I would ask this community to please vote yes on Measure G. Thank you.
I'll speak to
Michelle
Measure G.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thanks, Tiffany.
Well, actually, hold on, Karen, I'm sorry, to be fair. I saw Michelle Pellegrin's hand up and then yours, if you want to.
So should I go, Tiffany?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm speaking against Measure G. It would give Vallejo a tax rate well over 9%. It's a really regressive tax, which means it hits poor people. And we already had one tax that was supposed to pay for all these things, Measure B. So that's now a permanent tax. So instead of reallocating money for the fire station, which is what they should have done, they're putting this on the ballot so they can get a fancy a police station in the wrong place. It's just it's not well thought out, and there's also a lot of weird shenanigans that have gone on about it in City Hall. So I would vote no on Measure G.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, Karen. Sorry about that. And then Dawn.
Oh, I don't know if we have only three. I was going to speak against Measure G. The budget as proposed was a problem. I love the fire station, but the budget that was proposed not only spent all of the money, but it went into the reserves by $7 million, and they made absolutely no cuts or changes, and then turned around and proposed Measure G, which would be an additional $12 million on top of the 7 that they took out of the reserves. So I'm voting no until they go back and fix their budget.
Okay, and then Dawn. And if you guys have already spoken, can you put your hands down? Because I see the same hand still up, unless you want to speak again.
I'm going to advocate a yes on Measure C. If cannabis is going to be legal, we should tax it.
Okay, I've got the ballot, the polls ready. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, I put a lot of effort into that document. Damn it. Okay, ready? Here comes your first poll, which is everything but the Vacaville and Winters one. There you go. It's a number. It's 10 of them, so you need to scroll. Or if you're on a mobile device, you hit, after you vote, you hit next. So there's some undervoting in some of the things, so.
Hey,
vote.
Tom,
Yes.
I'm having a hard time scrolling, and if I use my up arrow, it changes my vote. So
Um,
that scroll bar
what
just,
are you on?
huh?
Are you on a PC?
I'm on a Mac.
Well, okay, a computer. But yeah, you need to bring your mouse over to the little edge of the vote thing, and then you can pick the scroll bar and move your way down.
Yeah. Okay. All
My
right.
ballot wouldn't let me submit. The little part was not highlighted.
Did you vote on everything?
Yes,
don't
I
know.
did.
It let me submit, and I'm on a phone too for my
I'm
voting.
not on a phone, I'm on my PC.
Oh,
This is Nat, I'm sorry.
yeah, no, I don't know what it looks like on a PC because I'm using the PC to run the meeting and my phone to vote for my club.
I filled out each one and just went
Been
on.
highlighting before and it didn't highlight this time.
I don't know.
I don't
Tom,
either.
Did you get the vote? Did you get her submission?
I can't see that.
No, I mean, when she submitted the vote, even though it didn't light up, did you receive it?
No, so I can't see that detail. This is not a perfect system. I can't see that detail. I can only see where there's an undervote.
So type in the chat what your votes are, Lynette, and Tom can count them.
Okay, well, my ballot went away and the poll thing, oh, there it is, poll. Let me see if it comes back up. And
Yeah, it's still going.
okay, so,
Maybe what I'll do is just do like 5 and split it up that way because I think having a lot of them is a pain. So I tell you, on the phone, it works great because you just do next.
Oh, it finally came up. Okay. I
Okay.
don't know what I did, but it's up. And it's submitted.
Okay.
And the poll thing is only up when the poll is up.
Yeah, and it's still up. So has everyone voted?
Then when you submit, it goes away.
Yeah. Michelle, have you voted?
Yes, I did it.
Okay, good. All right, I'm going to close polling. Ready? Okay. I'll share the results after we do the next one. Okay, here comes one. It's going to have 2 things for you to vote on. Okay, has everyone voted? Seeing we've got 28 votes. Should be 29. One more hanging out. Okay. Shall I end the voting, Madam Chair?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go back and share the first poll. So we endorse the city of Fairfield's tax thing. We endorse the city of Benicia's vote to allow cannabis. We do not endorse the city of Vallejo's tax measure. We endorse River Delta upgrades with citizen oversight bond measure. We endorse measure K, so you can all scroll through.
It didn't switch. It didn't switch. It just says 1, 2, and 3.
I'm looking on my phone.
Monica, you have to
And
scroll down if you're looking at it on your
and
computer.
well, you can't see my phone. Oh, well,
Yeah. Monica, you have
well,
to scroll down.
Got it. When it says close, I figured that's when it ends.
Yeah, no, just scroll down. It's like the bar is invisible.
yeah, it's because I see a bar on mine. You see the bar? No, okay. What am I? Wait, let me just share my whole screen. That way we can. So, do you see the poll results? Can someone confirm that? Do you see where I'm sharing poll results? Okay.
Can you make it bigger?
No. Pin
Okay.
please. This is it. There is no drag and oh wait, oh maybe I can't. Doesn't make the text bigger, it just makes the box bigger. Anyway, so number one, Measure C, 75% to endorse. Number two, Measure D and Benicia, 79% to endorse. Number three, resolution for the city of Vallejo, we have no preference, so no endorsement there. Measure G is endorsed by 68%. Oh, and on Measure G and Vallejo is 75% against. Measure K, River Delta, their school improvement thing was 68% for. City of Rio Vista, their 75% tax is nothing because it's split 50-50. So we don't have it's nothing on that. We don't endorse or we don't do anything. Measure Q, resolution change term limit for that is a no preference for Sassoon. Measure R is a no preference for city clerk to be an appointed position. Measure S is to repeal the city of Dixon's current water rates as sufficient, blah, blah, blah. No preference. Measure T is no preference for the vote to require the office of city clerk to be an elected position. Okay. And then the other one is here. And then on this, you're not seeing this vote thing, are you?
No,
we're looking out.
Someone could have said something.
Well, it's
It just
okay.
went out. It just went out.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
just listening.
We saw the
It's
poll
okay.
earlier.
There it is.
There we go.
Okay.
It's
Someone
okay.
said something. I thought you were seeing, because I'm seeing this screen that shows numbers and all that, and that's what I thought I was sharing. Anyway, and then I looked on my phone. I'm like, oh shit. Anyway, okay. So, City of Vacaville cannabis tax, we want them to get high, so it's 72% to vote for it. And then Winters Unified School District issue, 19 million in bonds. We voted to pass it by 55%, or 16-13. And that's it.
Yay.
Motion to adjourn.
Wait, we have announcements.
Oh,
Just hold on. I got some announcements. You just relax yourself.
You adjourn.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I have like one damn announcement.
Okay.
You got a minute.
Thomas, one day,
Okay,
one announcement.
All right, so just actually there's two announcements, but they're gonna be in 1 minute. One, check the calendar on the website. There is stuff going on and people are populating it, so go check it out. There's things going on that you might want to zoom into, and you can do that now. Secondly, Solano Pride is working on a fundraiser. Please look for that in the next coming weeks, because everyone needs money these days. But this is to help. This is going to be going into our SURF fund, which is our Community Emergency Relief Fund. So look for that. There, I'm done.
Karen, then Jeanette.
Okay, the first question before we get to appointments is I just wanted to know what the process was. I know that as the endorsement committee, I said that I would come up with, you can tell me who's sending the letters to the candidates and who's doing what about stating our endorsement of the measures. Okay, Jeanette, are you going to send a letter for the endorsements, or would you like me to do that?
I have been out of it since I wasn't on the committee this time, so I would prefer you to do that if you know, since I was not really part of the committee. So I would say either you or a committee person would be better.
I don't
Or
mind
send
doing
it
it.
through the chair and
Yeah.
Margie. So my other thing was on endorsements as well. If someone asked, well, why didn't the Central Committee take a stand on any of the propositions? Because a lot of the ones we just looked at were no preference. It was because usually part of the endorsement project, the proposal, the ballot people also speak before the committee. So the fact that no one did, even though Karen said they were all contacted, if someone says, well, why didn't you favor us? We can just say, no one came before us to ask for endorsements or not. So I just wanted that out there.
All right, Kevin.
Wait. I have no problem taking care of, because I led the meeting for the committee of the whole about the candidates, but the committee, the council as a whole was the one who took care of the measures, and I'm not familiar with that process at all.
Yes, the chair should send, she's our official spokesperson, and the letter, and working with you, Karen, of course, should send the letters to the candidates on behalf of the Central Committee.
And I can help as well with, because we
Yeah.
actually just
The
email
letter's coming
blasted
from
them.
our chair.
Yeah, no, I can do
Madam
that.
Chair, I have another when you're ready.
Well, Kevin
We're
McNamara is.
trying to finish Karen first before you go to something
sorry.
else. This is the endorsement stuff that Karen's trying to get straight. So, Margie,
We don't have anybody to send anything about the measures, the ballot measures.
But I didn't know if you wanted to do a press release saying which ones we've endorsed or which ones not. I don't know what your
I'll do a
procedures
press
are on
release.
that. I don't have any problem writing the letter for you to sign and getting those out, working with Tom.
There you go.
I don't
Thanks.
know what the procedure is for the measures.
Okay.
I'll do a press release, and
Press
then
release
Margie, we
for
can
that.
send it.
Okay, thank you. So we have Kevin, Michelle, then Lynette. I'm sorry, Kevin and Michelle. Kevin?
Hey, real quick, on September 2nd, we will be having a general meeting of the Rio Vista Democratic Club, and we will be having State Senator Bill Dodd speaking to our group. If you want to join us, contact Mona. And you're welcome to be part of our Zoom with Senator Bill Dodd. Done.
Thank you. Michelle?
So in terms of the letters going out to the candidates saying they have our endorsements, I think they should all go out except for the one for Vallejo mayor, because that's now being contested. And we need to have some kind of resolution on that. We could put a time period on it, but we need to have some sort of resolution on that.
Thank you, Michelle. Carrie?
Did you mean me?
Corey. Well, I didn't see your hand up,
Yes.
Corey. I'm sorry. Your hand.
Sorry. All good. I'd like to move that we sponsor the Napa Solano Central Labor Council Labor Day event for $500.
Second.
And if I may speak to the motion. This is a great event and a great opportunity to celebrate the reason as to why Labor Day exists. It's an amount which we can easily afford, and I think it would be a wonderful way to celebrate Labor Day and the working people of Napa and of Solano County.
Okay. So there was a second.
So yeah. Do we have anybody speaking against?
Madam Chair?
Yeah.
I don't want to speak against, because I mean, you know,
Yeah.
that, but it's just by procedure. We're
Right.
out of the business
But we're
section,
not in the new business.
and
So-
it wasn't agendized.
Okay.
I mean, I think,
Yeah.
Corey, can you share where we can go and buy tickets?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
I can certainly send that to the secretary.
Thank you, guys. That was why my hand was up.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's right. We're not connecting business. We're just doing announcements.
No worries. Thank you.
Sorry about that. All right, Carrie and then Jenna.
So on September 11th, the Progressive Dems of Benicia are meeting, and we have the county registrar coming to speak with us about safe voting procedures and what our county is doing to ensure that we have a fair and just election. And we also have invited our postmaster to talk about the U.S. Postal Service issues that we're currently having and how to best get our votes heard. And if anybody on this call wants to join us, send me an email or I'll send it to our secretary to invite everybody to that meeting. Thank you.
Carrie, you can also put that on our calendar. I can give you a private, I can give you a private lesson.
Okay.
I like those, Tom. Thank you.
Go ahead, Jenna.
Just a quick question, I apologize. So if we are holding on the mayor race, should we hold on the school board race as well? Because that was not the same format as well. Just a question.
Did we ever make official position that we're holding on the mayor's race?
I don't think so.
That was also done during announcements.
All right. Doesn't look like there's any more questions because I still see the same hands raised.
Okay, no more announcements? Okay.
Move for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn. Thanks. Goodbye.
Wait, do we need to vote on that?
An announcement.
No, we don't need to vote on it.
You have to vote on it. It is a motion. It's not.
I second.
Yes.
Hello?
Goodbye.
Okay, there we
Adjourn,
go.
yay.
Okay, so Mona has
Damn polls.
Speak, Mona.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead, Mona. Sorry.
Real quick, on September 16th, we are also hosting the Assistant Voter of Registrar, John Gardner, and he'll be talking about, you know, the election and, you know, answering questions. So if anybody would like to also be in that meeting, be sure to get in touch with me on September 16th. Thank you.
Okay, can 2 more people vote or else we're not adjourned?
Aye.
There now. We can adjourn. It's 50% of the people.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Margie. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you.
No problem.
Everyone.
Bye,
Thank you all.
everyone. Sorry I was snippy. I think my sugar's crashing. I got
His sugar was low.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I got no
Bye.
sugar. Bye.
Bye.
Next
Thank
time
you.
I'll DoorDash everybody something.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Candy.
I'm a
That's
DoorDash.
recorded. That's recorded.
I said something. I said something. I didn't tell you what. I said something.
All right.
Love you, Tiff. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
I'm going to end it. I'm going to cut you off. Ready?
Don't cut it
Okay,
off.
bye-bye.
3,